That's not. We're 23 minutes in. Aero Esports wants to make sure there's no more chance for Ramos to come back. Better airstrike whiffs on that Fresco, unfortunately. Sacred Beast gonna be popped down as well, but Aero taking it slow. Zaman Force comes out. Hanekage gonna be blasted away. Aero forced back to base, but Klokun gonna be jumped on as well. Aero Esports is diving into the crystal. They do not care about Vamos. And despite everything, Aero Esports will lead. Let's give our MVP over to Error 404. Man, finally able to get a good game under his belt. Getting multiple 1v1 kills against Hazel on that Joy. And playing an important role in DPSing the backline for the rest of his team as well.
Yep, 6-2-5. 79% kill participation. And I gotta say, I was reading the comments. One was really funny, where he said, at this point, the Lord wants to kill himself. I think that was real funny. Oh, who was that guy? Who was that guy? I can't find it anymore. Oh, it's my B question mark. Anyways, that was a game. We're going to game 4. At least we know it's not a 3-0 Stafa. There's still life in both teams.
There's still a chance for our predictions to be correct.
Yeah, there is a chance. Yeah. There is a chance. If we do, I like, at what cost? At what cost do we want our prediction to be correct?
Dude, I don't even know what to say about that game. There was such a long lull of just doing nothing. Okay, the Tigreal, in my opinion, was a mistake. I don't think they should have drafted the Tigreal. I feel like they should have seen that Vamos drafting like this gives them a chance to play the map, and Aero Esports basically locked themselves into team fight with that hero pick. If they had a bit more macro presence themselves, I don't think they would have needed to play so slowly.
Yep. 26 minutes. Oh, I was surprised. It was going over to 27 minutes, and I feel like just the thing here is that both roamers a little bit inactive, right? Because even Zkeef, I feel like most of those assists actually came from the blade armor, right? Like when they hit him, hit them back, and then that's where he's generating a lot of it. We got to be real here, though, Stafa. Both teams, they want to go to MSE, right?
Yes.
If they play like this, I feel like they will get punished so hard. Because Nets Presco as well, 2-1-6, this is not the kind of kill score you want from a Moskov, right? Like the way that he plays, like sure, you're playing the macro, but at one point, you kind of want him to get a lot of kills.
Like, this entire setup gives Netspresso so much space and time. Literally all the time and space in the world for him to play around. And yet somehow he is not effectively outpacing Kosei in farm. He's not getting enough of a lead for his team. And he's not even actually doing all that much in the team fights. In fact, he's even being picked off on his own. So yeah, like a lot needs to be worked on here.
It's sad because honestly, like, even Hazel wasn't that great this game. He was good game 1, right? Game 2, like, he had help with the Matilda, and then game 3, like, I feel like the consistent one in this matchup is Kim, a bit of Klokun. Yeah, the mids are doing good. The mids are good.
The mids are doing good. That's what we want to see. Mid laners play an important role too. I feel like they don't get enough love, all things considered. But in this game, they really did a lot. And man, I'm tired, Lafel.
It's the start of this stuff. Relax. We got this. We got 100+ stuff. Relax. Chill. We got this.
100+ is the only thing keeping me going right now.
Next game ends in 7 minutes. Right? Look. Let's be grateful that there's no pauses.
That's true, right? That's true. Yeah.
See the bright things.
We gotta look on the bright side.
Exactly.
We gotta see the good points.
Yes, there you go. Look at the damage here, right? Kusi did a lot, 84,000. Klokun did a lot, 88,000. But to be fair, it's probably just his traps, right? He put his traps everywhere. People land on him and then they die. Well, not die. Take damage. And that's even with us saying like he's not participating a lot. He still did okay damage.
He did okay.
76,000 damage, but it's 26 minutes. At that point, someone should be doing 140,000 damage. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's the only rage I'm gonna.
Because they're not interacting. They are playing their own game on their own halves of the map. I feel like I was watching a board game because they were basically taking turns and not really doing a lot with it. But Nespresso does still end up being the rich guy. We have Plakun as the carry, and we have Zkeef as the sandbag and the best wingman. I do think Aero Esports got a little overconfident with their drafting when they saw like they probably had the same idea we did when we saw Team Vamos' heroes, right? That kind of disjointed, doesn't make a lot of sense. So they just lock in like the team fight heroes and they know they'll win team fights, but then they kind of forget you don't have to team fight.
Yeah.
And they lock themselves in because of that. Also, all their damage was physical, so that's also a mistake.
I appreciate that they just figured out that, yeah, we can't win a team fight, so let's not do that. Like, if you can't play as a team, then don't let your opponent play as a team. Isn't that what Sun Tzu told us? If you can't win a 5v5, then play the side lanes.
That's the art of war.
Yeah, thank you, Sun Tzu. I'm sure he said that. Him or
someone
Stalin.
said that.
I don't know. If you can't win the 5v5, go to the side lanes. One of them said that, probably.
One of them said that. At some point, you know, in some war zone in history, there was a map with 2 side lanes and a mid lane. And some leader out there said what you just said. That's why we can say we're correct, because history proves us right.
Yep. Looking at the highlights here, it's unfortunate we do see a lot of mistakes coming in from both teams. Maybe, you're right, so maybe just change that one and then they're all good. Because if Zkeef doesn't make a play, no one else really wants to make a play. And you can really brush that up to what Coach Bam teaches them. Unless your position 5 sets something up, no one else should do anything unless the opponents makes a mistake. But how can the opponents make us a mistake if the opponents doesn't do anything, right? So maybe that's the art of war, Stafa. If we do something, we lose. So do nothing at all. Be like water. Be like water. Be like.
Ridiculous. It's so ridiculous because that is actually what is winning games this series.
I'm gonna play like that on rank. I'm not gonna do anything. Eventually, I'll win.
Aero Esports won game 1 by playing it safe and doing nothing. Now Team Vamos won game 3 by doing nothing. In a way, of course. You know, we're being like extreme with the metaphor, but you guys get what we mean. We know you guys understand this. Thank you.
Shoutouts to world leaders. Anyways. Let's talk about MWI, right? MWI, if you guys are close, you know, in the Riyadh area, you guys can come in for free because it's free for everyone. Guys, girls, I don't think you can...
Tickets to go watch MSC. You can also go watch MWI for free. It's a 2-in-1 deal.
And of course, the Malaysian squad as well.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to them, but Arya, you know, family, have to shout her out first here. It is what it is. Are you ready for game 4, Stava?
Yeah! No.
I'm gonna read the comments just a little bit.
I am not ready. Help me, chat. Chat, help me. Help us.
Yeah, I'm reading.
We need emotional support.
Like, some of the things that they say, I do agree, but we cannot say it on broadcast. But keep trying, guys. Maybe you guys will say something that we can say on broadcast. What needs to be done? I feel like Aero should win game number 4.
Logically speaking, yes. As long as they adapt, all right? They figured out, okay, Vamos just doesn't want to fight. If we just like match that sort of style, we go for more pick-off compositions instead, then it should be totally fine.
Yeah. Never would I thought that I would call Vamos the pacifist. Pacifier? Pacifista?
Pacifist is correct.
Pacifist was correct?
Yes.
Yeah. in One Piece, it would be Pacifista, but usually they're
They're not very
the
pacifist.
aggro one, right? They're the one that will start a fight for no reason.
No, they're pacifists because if they eliminate all their enemies, then there's no more violence.
Wait, what?
They're pacifists because if they eliminate all their enemies, there's no more violence.
That sounds like a screwed up way to justify doing bad things. Are you okay?
No, I'm pretty sure that's actually what it is. I wouldn't be surprised
Really?
if that's what it is.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Just in case.
Because you gotta pacify people. Therefore, pacifista.
Alright. Just in case, go get a therapist, you know? They might be able to
I
help you
should.
out. Yeah. There you go.
I'm gonna need one after this.
Ooh, yes. But we have one more best of 5 after this, Tafa. So hold on that. Keep the number around, though. 1 minute left until we start the draft. And it does look like Arrow will be first pick on blue side. So, vamos. I feel like they should not let had a good draft and they couldn't win it out.
Yeah, that if they won that out, Vamos would actually be the ones leading right now. They wouldn't be in this position, but we will see, right? Because if a team is able to make it through the play-ins, they need to be able to escape from this sort of situation.
Safa, let me tell you this, okay?
All right.
And then just react. Just react.
Okay, sure.
Whoever wins this one will be going up against SRG OG after this. How do you think SRG OG feels watching this series?
I would say they don't really need to prepare much, but it's SRG, so they're gonna do it anyway.
They're gonna over-prepare.
Yes.
To the point where I think even the opponent's like, bro, give us a break, right? But either ways, draft will be starting very, very soon here. Few seconds in. And at this point, Vamos win condition. It's really about drafting in a way that everyone can do something. Like protect yourself, essentially. Like, everyone needs a dash. Everyone needs some kind of iframes. And first pick Joy? First pick Joy coming in from Arrow.
Really?
Yep, okay, so Vamos banned out the Fanny, the Boxy, as well as the Kalia. Arrow banned out the Phobius, the Chip, and the Harif.
Was Hazel that triggered from being 1v1 multiple times?
But if that's the case, then one of the heroes that can deal with a Joy is the Hayabusa. But I feel a bit weird that we have not seen any Hayabusa so far, and Hazel's the one's playing.
You are right, actually.
Right?
That was like his original hero when he debuted here in MPL Malaysia. Looks like we're gonna see the Cho and Lo Yi locked in by Team Vamos. So stealing away one of Kim's signature picks. That will give them a lot of global presence. So if you want to play macro, having a hero like this is even better.
So now the Cho as well as the Louis.
Are they setting up for Claude?
Yeah, but, I think the Claw would be good. Because, I mean, if you want to stay at the side lanes, the Claw is amazing for that, right? I do feel like at this point, maybe Kim will take the just shit. But at the same time, you need some kind of pressure. So they pick up the Badang as well as the Moskov. I feel like Kim should try to get either a Farsa. What other heroes that has quite high mobility that can actually deal with the backline? And they pick up the Lucas.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure this is jungle, but there is a chance that they might flex this up. And if Kim gets the Valentina, it's bad. Like the Valentina against Lucas, Valentina has a good matchup there, but you're giving away. Okay, never mind. They ban out the Valentina. There is a chance. Like, give the Valentina because short range hero, and then just don't fight, right?
No, there's a good reason.
Right, just give them short range heroes and then don't fight. Just control the silence.
There actually is a good reason to ban Valentina here, because if Valentina goes to Arrow, it's not Kim playing it.
All right, right.
He had the best Valentina Lucas counter of the entire season, and Vamos is properly respecting that. So I do like that. They're properly thinking about these things. I think if Kim wants to be able to match up in terms of vision, you will probably need to go in the direction of like Novaria or Selena. And looks like Vamos is not going to allow the Selena. They already played it last game. So heavily limiting what Kim is able to bring out.
Okay, so either the Granger or the Claude should be banned here. Because Granger, I would say Nets has shown that he's pretty confident with it. Oh, they banned the 1-1. They banned the 1-1. Interesting.
Really?
They're banning the 1-1. Interesting.
I guess. Okay. All right, fair enough. Cho can set up really well for crossbow, and then they don't have Phobias anymore to deal with that. So I understand, but it does mean that Moskov is still open too. They go for the Granger instead, which is perfectly fine.
And now for... Okay, to pick up the high loss. And the Jushin. So overall, they still roughly get the same draft. Only changing the jungle. And the Badang is going to the roam. I'm guessing the Badang should be roam here, knowing their playstyles.
I was a little disappointed that ZK was not playing on the Badang last game. They switched it last minute to
They go for
real.
CC? Yeah, there you go. They pick up a CC. The CC is going to be pretty good here. Like, not only does it win the lane against the high loss, but if you're lucky, you can actually tie the Joy with anyone. Say, even the Jushin, and then Hazel will be easy pickings for this Lucas. Like, just tie people up and then let Lucas set free.
I actually really like Vamos's draft.
I do as well.
This is a good draft.
So they might lose.
Yeah, which means they're probably going to lose. I don't know anymore. Let's just keep our minds open for this one, right? If Vamos is able to take another victory, then we will be able to follow in the footsteps of MPL PH to go to a full 5 games. But Aero Esports, let's see if they've adapted. Let's see if they've just adjusted to the mistakes they made in game number 3. And let's just enter the land of Dawn with an open mind, because I don't have the energy to do otherwise.
You know, it's okay. Like, if they go to 5 games, then we can tell people, like, hey, we're the same as MPL Philippines. We go all 5 games. Don't watch the game, but we go all 5 games.
Yeah, and our teams are really disciplined, you know? They don't actually do anything.
No, stop. They're very disciplined. Stop there. Okay, stop off. As a caster, know when to stop. Speaking of which, Zorn tried to interrupt Hazel. Hazel still gets the buff away. Looking at the lanes here, Nets is already moving up a little bit more compared to the previous game. Zorn already coming in, but just to let him know, like, yeah, I'm here part of the game. So then you know. Is this real? Is he actually using the common emblem, Zorn?
Huh?
Is he actually using the common emblem?
It looks like it.
It should be a tank emblem. I hope that's an API error, but. Huh.
That would be very interesting if it actually is common emblem. It means that he'll generally want to hang out in lanes a little bit more to get extra regen. But if it works, it means that he can stay on the map a lot longer than you'd expect.
Yep. Staying on the map for a long time is good for Zorn.
Ouch, Kim taking a big beating from Error 404 right at level 4 as well.
Yeah. And that actually enables Vamos to actually freeze the wave closer to their side of the map. So this is just them trying to deny Kim a little bit of farm. So I think that's pretty good. And looking at this, look, the minions are dying. So Kim is going to be losing the farm here. So Vamos actually has priority over the turtle. In terms of execution, Vamos is actually doing this quite well. If they keep this up and then they avoid the Lord, they might win this one, Staffa.
You might be speaking a little early, but yeah, I can see it. You know?
I can hope.
We can hope. We can hope. Zorn now in trouble. Hazel looking for it. Nice flicker. Avoids the rest of the electrifying beats here. Smooth though. Punishing Reza pretty hard in the EXP lane.
Nance going up against Kusei again. Looking at the turtle pit here. Smooth does have level 4. He has that curtain call. So the moment Hazel jumps in, he should use that curtain call, and then Vamos can do something with it. And if he doesn't, then Hazel should clean house. Or just don't fight for the turtle. That is okay too.
That is a possibility. I feel like Aero Esports are in a position where they don't really need to bother contesting neutrals as hard as before, because their goal is to just funnel farm into Hazel and Kosei. They don't have a lot of early game presence comparatively.
Yep, Smooth has to get out of there, but oh, he got caught!
Correct. ZK finds the flank, sets it up. Glorious Pathway comes out as well. Sacred Beast gonna be popped down. Beast Bomb doing a lot of damage. Hazel picks up the first blood. Clockhoon secures the turtle. Hazel with the double kill. Aero Esports are so low, and they'll finally find ZK, but it is a 2-for-2 trade, and Aero come out on top.
Who needs a retribution when you have mid laners, man? Kim got a Lord. Clockhoon got the turtle. You know what? Retribution is a good farming tool, man. You gotta let those mid laners secure the neutral objectives. I'm not even making fun of it. I'm actually being serious. Just let your mid do their thing.
It does seem that way. I remember like a few seasons ago when mid laners were just stealing lords left and right. Hazel actually retreat Zorn there instead of the crab, so that's a bit unfortunate.
Right now Hazel is 2-0 though.
Wave the dragon, kick ZK. Zorn kind of stuck outside. Lantern picks him up, gives the kill to Kosei.
Yep. Overall, it's okay as long as you don't give up too much. Right now, looking at the KDA, Error is 0-1 and 2. Then looking at Hazel, I believe he's 2-0 and 1. Yes, 2-0 and 1. So the goal should be a little bit more for Hazel. Error 404, all he really needs is just the Hunter Strike, and then from there he can start to snowball. When it comes to Hazel, I would say earlier in the game, it's really just about isolating someone. Later when you have 2 items, the Holy Crystal as well, then you can start to force out the fights a little bit more.
I think Hazel actually does have a surprising amount of space to play this game, though. The only real source of reliable lockdown from Vamos is going to be Way of the Dragon and maybe Curtain Call. Otherwise, if Hazel times his entry correctly, he can quite easily threaten. Sacred Beast comes out, Error 4-4 trying to engage. Zorn gonna be pushed back, Diversion comes in, Clockhood gonna sense move into the backline. Kosei able to jump back into the tower. ZK finds Kale Kim, gonna secure it on Zorn. ZK dashes away, gets the shield, he survives! And now Smooth is stuck between 4 members. The Vengeance cannot save him! Team Vamos overstepped their boundaries.
I kind of feel like that fight was not really properly planned out because it was quite choppy. You see, members of Vamos going in and out, but they're not moving in sync. And in terms of targeting, they're not targeting the same people. So Vamos, they're starting to try to play like a team, and maybe that's not their win condition.
It's so weird that our advice to a team is to not play like a team, but yeah, Team Vamos gets a little bit messy when they try to go for these 5v5 dives.
Yeah. I feel like try to use an advantage where you can actually try to catch people off guard and maybe do that. I feel like the one that should be an easy target is Reza on the Hylos. I understand the Hylos would take such a long time to die, but if you're going to target anyone, if you're going to force a fight, maybe him. Because ZK, he can turn things around. Because you know that Kim will always be close to him. And if you try to catch him, you might get punished.
Yeah, that is always a possibility. And like you already pointed out, Kim is actually surprisingly bulky for a mage as well. So Team Vamos needs to pick their fights wisely. For now, the goal difference is still negligible, basically nothing. A lot of the goal lead in Smooth specifically, as expected.
Yep. Other than that, honestly, right now, for both Arrow and Vamos, hold on. Does Smooth have the... Looks like he does have the War Axe. So if he does have that War Axe, then they should be a little bit braver when it comes to the fights. But again, like we've been saying, their 5v5 is not as strong as Arrow. They need to find a way to actually split the fight. But at that point, if they want to split the fight, I don't want them to split in a way that these are front lines, these are back lines. No.
Glorious pathway. They're looking to engage a Clockhood, but this might be a bit too deep. They're stuck under the tower. Sacred Beast comes in. Reza gonna be sacrificed away. And now Hazel, too deep as well. Blast combo locks him down. He tries to run away, but Way of the Dragon going to find him. And this time it is Vamos who finds 2 kills.
Unfortunately, I can't say that Vamos made a good play. It was just Arrow making a bad one. What were they thinking?
LaFell, how is it every single time the team that starts the fight loses it? How?
Look, game 3, man. Game 3. Game 3.
How?
Game 3, they learn, don't start a fight. All right, game 4, eventually we might get there. Because again, like okay, they want to start a fight, sure, but Reza, that seemed a little bit too forced. You're taking a lot of tower shots. At that point, you can't ask why you lost the fight.
ZK going to find that Fresco. Fist Crack knocks him away. He's going to dash out. SOD misses. Kim going to dash forward with the ultimate, picks him up. Diversion comes in. Clockhood with the yin yang reaction melts him down. Killing spree for the Loyi. But Kosei finds his own. Picking up Zorn. Finds the double kill. Error 404. Why did you go in?
Hey, but look at Smooth. Smooth is taking over Net's job. Now he's split pushing. Arrow got mid though. That's really good. But Vamos, at least they trade something here. And so far, good catch by ZK. And Error 404, he does look a little bit uncomfortable on this Lucas, right? Because he doesn't look like he's able to understand when he should go in, when he should go out. Because I feel like as a Lucas, you need to be a little bit selfish. You can't always help out your team if it means you dying.
Move your 1v3 here, sir. Be careful. Diversion going to come in. Team Vamos might look pretty engaged. Glorious pathway gets arrow out. Smooth going to be picked off. Fizz crack locks Zkif in place, but he's able to flicker away to safety. The Lord dropping down to 20%. Beast Bomb comes out. Spear of Destroy.
Oh
Reza!
Oh my. Oh.
Reza steals the Lord! Kosei is unstoppable! Can the junglers hit a retribution?
I apologize to MPL MY, the fans, production team. I'm sorry, Stafa. That was painful. I mean, it's good for Arrow. It's good that Reza got the Lord, but I want someone cooler to get the Lord.
Retribution is decorative this game, LaFell.
I want someone cooler to get the Lord. I want Kusei to get the Lord.
Is Reza not cool? You think Reza isn't cool, LaFell?
What mechanics do you need as a high loss?
You need to walk up there and stand there. That's cool. You T-pose for dominance. Way of the Dragon kicks the really cool guy into the wall, but Zorn gets pinned instead. Monster kill for Kosei. Oh my goodness, the flank from Zkif is so good! Stops the backline, zones them out. Double kill for Kosei. Arrow Esports trades 3 for 1.
Right now, Aurora Esports, they're able to get the holy defense in mid. And out the top side of the map, looks like they're going to get that as well. Team Vamos, even though the turrets are there.
Going for Hazel! Melts down Espresso, and he just walks.
Okay. Because if he died.
I was ready to judge him very hard again.
Yeah. So it's not over yet, I think. It's not over yet. Vamos has a chance. Ness just needs a few kills. Clockun hasn't died, by the way. Clockun has been, like, I want Error 404 to play like Clockun, right? Only go in when you know you can make something happen.
Yeah, that is actually correct. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. I feel like he may not understand, like, the Lucas enough. Maybe there's a lack of experience there, but it is leading to a lot of disjoint in the way this team is approaching the fight. And I will say, once again, put Zkif on the Badang. He looks so good on it.
Yeah, he looks so good. Like, other teams could do this, right?
Yeah.
Now, Team Vamos is 3,000 gold behind, but still, things could happen. Things could happen.
How you doing, chat?
So first of all, Error 404, chill. Chill, bro. Like, in the previous game, you didn't force fights. You don't have to force fights here, right? Just wait, at least wait for Zkif. Once you see him dashing in, and then, you know, there's no one to really stop you, and then do whatever you want. It's fine. Like, I'm not asking you to wait for everyone. Just Zkif. If Zkif is already using his skills, do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Remember, in this matchup, the team that does nothing wins. Just do nothing. Embody Zen.
Yep.
Start meditating on the land of Dawn. I feel like they need it.
I need it. Anyways, the Lord looks like it's gonna have this dance again. The Lord, I gotta say, is having a lot of cardio done today, moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
The Lord is a victim of all this. You gotta respect.
I would like to apologize to the Lord. You deserve a lot more. But either ways, right now, both teams. This time, Kusei is the one splitting the map. Nets, I can do what you did too.
Yeah, they gotta send someone back to deal with that. And hopefully this time, Arrow Esports sees someone go and respond to the top lane split push and start blitzing the Lord. You know, that would make the most sense.
Yep.
No one's actually going though.
Hey, reset again. Eventually. Clockun is probably just waiting for a very good diversion, right? Think about that, Stafa. I know, don't do anything. Yes, but diversion though, that could do something.
Gonna start by punching Smooth down. The lift up on Zorn. Glorious Pathway comes out. Vengeance popped on Smooth. Spirit of Destruction connects with Error 404. Gets the pin against the wall. He has to use the Sacred Beast just to escape. Beast Bomb. Meltdown Reza, but Kim is the one that gets sacrificed instead. Clockun looking for a diversion.
Oh.
He's gonna go to the opposite side of the Lord. Arrow Esports actually... Huh.
Even Error, like, he has no HP. Like, he has to be careful. He has to... Okay, you know what? Not gonna question it. Not gonna question it. It's fine. And now he TP's back home. So now the Lord is resetted.
That was one of the most nothing happened diversions I've ever seen. I guess that's what the name of the game is, right? Do nothing. It wins you games, guys. Zorn is nearly dying because he tried to do something. Don't be like Zorn, guys. Do nothing.
Smooth is flanking for the side. Is that a bad idea?
It is a bad idea because he's dead. Legendary for Kosei.
And now without the CC, there's not a lot of crowd control that can really stop Hazel. I mean,
You can say that without the CC, they lack CC.
Staffa, don't test my patience.
I have to do this, LaFell. I have to keep my sanity somehow.
Okay, all right. We're gonna have a bit of a break after this, all right. But yeah, I was about to say, without the CC there, no one is there to lock down Hazel. But at the same time, that really hasn't been a problem this match.
Yeah.
Really hasn't been a problem at all for this game, so. Hold on, Staffa, okay? This might be the final match. We need your energy.
Okay.
We need to shout when someone wins.
Give me a moment. I need to meditate.
All right, that's all the moment you can get. Because right now, looking at the goal here, 12,000. Oh, conceal.
Kosei is 1v2. 1v3, and he's alive. Okay, they finally get the shutdown, but they caught the diversion, and they already get their base pushed in. The top inhibitor is gone. Fresco's still alive, doing a good amount of damage. Revitalized, keeping Arrow Esports topped up. Actually, a pretty solid defense from Team Vamos.
Yep. Honestly, very good TP. Able to get Kosei there. And I believe that's a big shutdown gold as well. 50 minutes in, looking at the items, you can't see that well, but I kind of feel like everyone from Vamos already has their key items. To the point where I feel like even Arrow 404 does have that Witcher Crown. So he can get out of a very sticky situation.
All right, let's see if this is also sticky for Zorn. He's getting picked up. Looks like it's fine. There's really no need to fight right now. There is no Lord to contest on the map.
I mean, just because there's nothing to contest on the map, Staffa, doesn't mean that you can't do nothing, right?
No, LaFell, you must do nothing.
All right. Either way, doesn't matter, Staffa, okay? The game continues. We're 50 minutes in. The previous one was only 26 minutes, right? Rookie numbers.
Yeah, that wasn't long enough.
We can do more.
We need to beat the regular
fans.
season record.
People are here, all right, watching in the stadium. So now with 3,000 goal lead, and it looks like Nespresso even having that War Axe, really looking to sustain as much as he can in a team fight, which I believe is a very good idea. Very, very good idea. And at this point, like not even joking, Zorn really doesn't have to do anything. Wait for Reza or Hazel to overextend and then kick him. Because I've never seen a player that doesn't like that likes getting kicked.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really likes getting kicked. Zorn gonna get found. Fizzcrack connects with him. Here comes Hazel. Gonna melt down the immortality. Glorious Pathway slows down the rest of the team. Mama, Zorn is already gone. Spirit of Destruction connects with Nets, but he's able to dash away. Wind of Nature cancels out the flash combo. Kosei eats the Beast Bomb, but he is still very, very healthy. Zorn, the only kill of the fight.
I feel like that is okay. Right? Like, if you lose anyone, you're losing Zorn. Okay, actually, never mind. The Lord is up. Maybe not the best, but if Arrow's not going to take this Lord anyways, then it's okay. That is all right. I don't think Arrow 404 has unleashed the beast. It looks like Arrow will be getting this Lord for free, so it's going to be a tough defense for Vamos.
That means the jungler actually gets the Lord for once, LaFell. It's an improvement. It's good. Right?
Wait, Hazel got the...
Yeah, Hazel got the Lord.
And he didn't even use Retribution.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Maybe Retribution is a scam, LaFell.
It's overrated.
Maybe you don't need Retribution.
Let's bring back... What's that one? What's the teleport one? Arrival.
Arrival.
Let's bring back Arrival, man.
Yeah, because like Arrival will make sure you're able to join every Lord fight. You don't need Retry. Just bring Execute and use it on the Lord.
Yeah, Execute. Let's put Execute. Execute sounds nice. Sounds nice. Yep. By the way, someone is... We're right on track on our prediction stuff. Like, we might be the best.
We might, surprisingly.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
right now.
Here comes the Lord. Bottom inhibitor will fall. Glorious pathway slows down Team Vamos. Here comes the flicker in. Fist Crack actually misses. Hazel gonna get sniped down, but the flash combo goes on the wrong target. Beast Ball, they just go for it. I didn't even notice they were on the crystal. All right, sure. Arrow Esports takes the victory. 3-1. They will move on to the official playoffs. And with that, Team Vamos' journey in Season 15 comes to an end.
You can see Kim there looking over to Vamos, putting his finger on his lips, and at the same time, he looks kind of disappointed, man. Like, he looks happy and sad at the same time. I hope they talk to Kim, because I do want to know how he feels about this match. If he can even remember it.
Were we casting a match just now?
Hey, don't be that guy, Staffa. Don't be that guy. Aero Esports is moving forward to face against SRGOG, and Vamos goes home. So the real question is, who really won?
Man, I feel like this is one of the first times I actually predicted something correctly. But let's take a break here, right? This is a momentous occasion. We'll let Rose take over on stage.
Unfortunately, Team Vamos punya perjalanan untuk MPL Malaysia musim ke-15 akan terhenti di sini. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, let us give them a warm round of applause. You guys did an amazing job. Tapi sebelum Rose tanya kata-kata terakhir atas pentas, actually Rose nak tahu sebagai first runner-up last season, and of course, pasukan yang dapat wakil Malaysia di M6 World Stage. In your opinion, siapakah yang akan bawa nama Malaysia ke MSC? Dua pasukan.
Prediction saya rasanya Aero dengan SRG kot.
Alright. And of course, Zorn, since you tengah pegang mic sekarang ni, apa yang kata-kata terakhir Zorn di atas pentas untuk musim ini?
Alright guys, kita orang semua daripada pihak Vamos, tim Vamos sendiri minta maaf atas kita orang punya performance yang agak teruk lah. Boleh katakan kita orang punya performance di season memang betul-betul macam tak korang jangkakan lah. By the way, bukan sekadar kita orang punya performance, tapi kita boleh nampak yang MPL Malaysia sekarang makin lama makin ada improvement. Kita tengok tiba-tiba Aero boleh bagi saingan yang betul. Diorang kuat guys. So hakikatnya kita orang akan terus cuba memperbaiki kita orang punya kesilapan lah. Terima kasih kepada korang semua fans yang menyokong kita orang. Kita orang keluar dulu.
Ini adalah satu momen yang penuh dengan emosi. But before that, I would like to give you guys the opportunity for your final bow. In 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, sekali lagi ini adalah Team Vamos. Terima kasih. And of course, pasukan yang akan teruskan perjalanan mereka untuk menjumpa Selangor Red Giants OG Esports esok. Give it up for Aero Esports. Congratulations. Okay, Kim. I rasa Rose nak start dengan Kim. Kim, selepas kemenangan yang kita boleh dikirakan sangat-sangat besar actually sebab diorang adalah first runner-up untuk musim lepas. Macam mana kemenangan ini akan membantu Aero Esports dengan match yang seterusnya?
Untuk match ni kita orang punya confidence sebenarnya sebab kita orang expect kita menang. So kita orang prepare untuk SRJ esok ah.
Adakah kemenangan 3-1 ini adalah satu benda yang Aero Esports actually expected ataupun you rasa 3-2 memang tough game?
Kita orang expect memang tough game ah. Tapi saya expect Chibi yang main. So ya, sebab Chibi kan ada experience dekat playoff. So ya tak apalah, Aero pun mungkin dapat experience untuk season ni.
Okay, Hazel. Hazel. Now, perlawanan ini you ketemu Error 404. mungkin as a young player yourself, apa nasihat yang you boleh bagi dekat Era 404? Because like what Kim cakap lah kan, Era 404 ni he's still young. Dia pun tengah juggle studies and of course playing as well. Apa nasihat yang you boleh bagi?
Tetap rehat sih, jangan pernah puas karena dia juga masih muda kan. Masih banyak hal yang bisa dilakukan dan dia aku lihat berpotensi.
Boleh nampak potential. Okay, apa perasaan you selepas menang game ni? You rasa dah ready ke untuk SRG esok?
Ready.
Alright, by the way, congratulations on your graduation. Congratulations on your graduation also.
Thank you.
Was it fun?
Ya, fun.
Guys, a round of applause. Member dah graduate kot. Tengok, dia balance study and work. That's very, very good. Okay, now mungkin Rose boleh tanya Zikif kot. Okay, now Zikif. Rose dah tanya Kim dengan Hazel tentang match up dengan SRG OG esok. Tapi kalau let's recall back lah kan, dekat regular season, Aero Esports je yang pasukan yang berjaya mendapatkan satu mata daripada defending champions kita. And itu pun Hazel baru 1 hari main lah kan. So, untuk esok pula, you rasa apa yang akan jadi outcome-nya?
Esok mungkin kita orang akan bagi saingan yang terbaik lah. Mungkin kalau rezeki kita orang, mungkin kita orang menang, tapi kita orang confident untuk lawan SRG esok.
Okay, and also ramai orang ataupun ramai tim yang kata actually Aero ini adalah satu contender yang besar untuk mendapatkan satu lagi tiket ke MSC. You rasa ni bagi korang punya semangat membakar ke?
Sebab sebelum ni kita orang kena pandang rendah dengan tim-tim lain dekat early season. Tapi sekarang kita nak buktikan lah yang kita orang boleh compete juga dengan tim-tim yang kuat.
I really like that. Alright, Stadium Juara, kita dah saksikan perlawanan yang sangat seru. Tapi mari kita tengok MVP perlawanan ini in 3, 2, 1. MVP jatuh kepada... Kejap, siapa? Kim!
Utang ni nak.
Oh. Kim! Okay. Kim. Now, kita tahu di game ketiga you main Jushin, you main mid lah kan. Lepas tu, you dapat KS lot yang agak penting. Macam mana you buat tu actually? Tak ada retry pun.
Tu sebenarnya luck sebenarnya. Sebab saya pun saja tekan je.
Tekan je lantern tu.
Tiba dapat sebab saya tahu Joy tak ada retry. So saya pun try lah. Dapat. Reza pun dapat edit game.
Ya, tu lah. Lepas tu you dapat, you rasa macam, oi, ada ni, boleh fight lagi.
Expect menang lah tapi tak apa, rezeki diorang kot.
Apa yang terjadi di game ketiga sebenarnya?
Game ketiga mungkin kita orang lupa job desk masing-masing. Sampai kita orang cut lot jadi macam messy sikit team fight kita orang. Ya, tu je lah.
Lupa job desk tu, adakah itu satu benda yang kita boleh consider as overconfidence? Sebab dah tengah leading 2-0.
Sebab kita dah leading 2-0 kan, maybe lah.
Okay, so kita boleh nampak daripada interview ni that actually Aero ada lagi room for improvements, especially untuk match up against Selangor Red Giants OG Esports esok. But before that, Kusei. Now, Coach just said Kusei is the way. Kusei, now we know that you're a Filipino gold laner. I've met you quite a few times in the international tournaments as well. But tomorrow, you guys are going up against Selangor Red Giants OG Esports. And a lot of the people say, the community, the players, the coaches, everybody is saying that Innocent is one of the best gold laners right now in Malaysia. How do you think that matchup is going to go like?
That matchup is all I'm going to focus on is doing my best and trusting my teammates no matter what. I'm looking forward facing Innocent because he's one of the gold laners that I'm looking up to because he's the one who destroyed the Philippine streak, winning the entire national team.
You're right. That did happen in MSC. Is there anything that you want to say to Innocent?
I just want to say good luck and we will do our best to steal the upper bracket semi-final.
Still the upper bracket finals. Wow, okay. I like this. Lagi semangat. And of course, Coach Bam. Mana Coach? Coach, I saw just now that you guys actually have Coach Pakbet inside of your player room. Can you maybe share with us a little bit why is Coach Pakbet here?
Actually, I don't want to reveal, but Coach, because I am alone in coaching staff of Aurora Esports. I need help especially on drafting and how PH team works so we can implement it in our team. So that's why he's here.
Oh, now untuk pengetahuan korang, actually, Coach Pacbet is a part of AP Brand, right? AP Brand's coaching staff dekat Philippines. And since AP Brand did not make it to the playoff stage this time around, I think Coach Bam asked for some help from the Filipinos that side, and I guess that's why Coach Pacbet is here. You know what, Coach? I hope you have an amazing time in Malaysia. And maybe to wrap up this interview, mungkin kita boleh pass the mic to Reza. Reza, akhir sekali, is there anything yang Reza nak cakap kepada semua audience yang hadir dan tengok game mereka?
Untuk fan-fan Aero, thank you sebab datang. Untuk fan Vamos juga, thank you sebab datang. Untuk fan Vamos, thank you sebab datang. Sorry kita menang lawan Vamos. Tu lah, hampa tak lepas aku punya balance tu last game tu. Pedih tu aku. Tu je kot.
Mungkin esok lah kot.
Mungkin esok.
Mungkin esok. Guys, once again, a round of applause to Aero Esports. And with that, let us show it to the casters to analyze apa yang jadi dalam game 3-1 menentang Team Vamos. Casters, back to you guys.
You know what, Stafa? Oh, first of all, amazing graphic.
That's
I like
cool.
it. That's actually really cool. You know, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. We can see that Kim really spends a lot of time with his coach, with Kusei.
Yeah.
Because he understands, even though he's here in Malaysia, but he has to understand the culture, the language of the Philippines. You know,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of Indo, but he just showed that he's learned a few things, and yeah, shout outs to him and Pat
Yeah.
and Coach Bam and Kusei.
It's just like when Nespresso came over to Malaysia and learned the culture here, you know, it's the same thing basically. But Kim becoming the MVP is definitely well deserved, played a very important role in all of the games that Aero Esports was able to win, providing vision and control with that Lo Yi in game 1, then being a constant backline threat on the Farsa.
Wait,
And then finally, picking people up non-stop on the
he has
Susin.
75% kill participation for
Whoa.
all 3 games. Talk about consistency,
Wow.
bro. Kim, let me just say, Stafa, he knows what he's talking about. He's consistent.
He really does. He knows exactly what he's talking about, especially up on that stage. Aero Esports have officially clinched their path forward into the upper bracket semi-finals, which means that they now have a life to play with in the playoffs. Even if they drop a series, they still have a chance to claw back up from the upper brackets. And unfortunately for Team Vamos, it's the end of the line.
In case the audience couldn't figure it out, the interview just now, Vamos did say, for them, the one that's going to MSC is probably going to be SRG and Aero Esports.
Aha!
We have to see if Aero can do it. We gotta see, because I guess Vamos was a really tough challenge for them, Stafa. But I want to see them step up a little bit more, especially tomorrow they're going up against SRG. They gotta really show them stuff.
Yeah, I want to see a slightly different gameplay style from the team, right? In this match against Vamos, the winner was the team that did nothing. So maybe next time we get to see the winner that's a team that does something, you know? Like a little bit of improvement here in MPL Malaysia.
Maybe they know their mistakes, right? Maybe they know their mistakes here, and then they're gonna improve on it. And then when they fight against SRG tomorrow, they're gonna step up. And then SRG saw, this is how you beat Aero Esports. You don't fight. You split the map.
But it was a good idea. It actually was a good idea. I gotta give props.
Innocent can use the Moscow, you know? He can do it.
Yeah, it is going to be an uphill battle, right? Because yes, like LaFell has mentioned, like we've heard on stage, Aero Esports' next opponent in the upper bracket semis is none other than SRG OG. And while they do have a second life to play around, you ideally don't want to have to spend it that early on.
Agreed.
So it's going to be a really difficult matchup.
But an argument can be made, right? You only have your second life up until the grand finals. So if you don't spend it, you're never gonna use it.
That's
so,
true.
You know, maybe losing, it's not bad. But, you know, like you want to spend everything that you have. 'Cause, well, like what, you're gonna saving it for next season?
I mean, whenever you get items in a video game, you kind of hold on to them because you always think, hey, maybe I'll use it later.
And then you never do.
Yeah.
I've hold on to key items that should have been sold off. And then dude.
Like, I hold on to my level 5 health potions, you know, all the way until I'm level 100, you know? It still will be useful someday.
Either ways, I'm sorry we haven't analyzed about this game much.
I think the chat understands.
Yeah, my argument is that can you blame me though? All right, looking at the key players here, Kusei is the rich guy, so as the carry. Shoutouts to Zyrol, by the way, probably in the room right now. 824 gold per minute, 81,000 damage dealt. Zoran took a lot of damage, 123,000 damage taken. And Reza, best wingman, 10 highest assists. Reza was upset that the Valentina was banned out. And then maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, you know, SRG be like, you know what, take it. We'll use the Lucas, you can have the Valentina, and then we'll see if we can beat you.
I feel like if any team is going to try and test that, it is going to be SRG OG. So the chances of seeing it tomorrow are actually on the higher side. But let us talk a little bit about what happened in this game. Team Vamos tried to come out the gate swinging. And honestly, they didn't have too bad of an early game start. But I do feel like they got a little bit too desperate to actually get that early lead.
Yeah. If we're being real here, I feel like Vamos needs a full reset for next season because only they really know what's the problem here. Like, is it truly communication, right? Like, is that really the thing? Is it just them not trusting each other? Is the coach not you know, carrying the message of what the players are supposed to do and everyone's just confused? And then for Aero, they gotta clean this up because Vamos and SRG OG, they're just a little bit different, you know, but different enough that SRG OG will not let you get away with these kind of mistakes.
I think it all comes down to adaptation. It really is the key phrase of the entire league, I feel like. A team that wants to be able to stand on top of MPL MY or any other MPL for that matter needs to be flexible enough to change up their approach in the game based on what their opponents are doing. And I feel like I've seen that sorely lacking from Team Vamos this entire season.
Although I do have to say, it's pretty interesting to see Potbet is here helping out Aero Esports. So they're like this season, Aero Esports, they're really bolstering up their lineup, right? Taking in Hazel, and then now even having Potbet in behind, helping them out. So overall, I like that Aero Esports, they're taking this very, very seriously. And if you're going up against SRG OG, that's what you got to do. After this, though, will be another best of 5. It is going to be MV going up against DxSoul, and both teams, these are the teams that have the most 2-1s in regular season. So we might go full games, but I'm not predicting we're going full games. Aero flies to the oops bracket where the final boss search waits.
Okay, yeah, you keep catching me off guard with those. I was prepared for the oops. I was not prepared for the surg. But yes, Aero is
It's
moving
not even
on.
complete. It should be Surgo.
Yeah, it should be Surgog.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's like a dot there, so it's Surgog.
After this, DxSoul will be going up against MV, where winner will be going up against Homeboys. Loser will join Vamos, going home, but different homes. Vamos at their own
Ideally.
place. And do you hear MLBB? Do you hear a band?
I did hear a ban. I'm not sure if like the chat.
Oh,
hears
okay. I know where it's from. I know where it's from. All right.
It's
Come
fine.
on, that's there's show time.
It's fine. Either way, Aero moves on to the oops bracket. And they'll be meeting against SRG OG tomorrow. And then after this, we'll have another best of 5 to see which of these two teams move on to the other oops bracket versus Homeboys.
Let me just say for chat, if you guys stay with us for the next match, you guys are amazing. But now we're gonna go for a rest. But for you guys, we gotta show the mic check. Let's see what they were saying inside the game.
Wait, badang first. Badang first, bro. Exat join. Aman. Badang, bro.
Aman, they don't have damage.
Ah, di din connect, bro.
Boleh lock ah. Boleh lock.
Lokat ka sa Hazel.
Ah, it's one.
Lego. Sabar.
Tahu lock.
Nice one, guys. Nice one, guys.
Only one flicker tak kena, cok.
Mati, bro. Hands on, solo.
Ah, nice.
Solo.
Hands on.
Aman naman, isa laman bro.
Boleh bunuh, Cok.
Ya,
Komen ada aja, guys.
ulti.
Nice.
Ulti.
We must lock now.
Lip, masuk lip. Okay, dapat lock gerak guys. Baik.
Kidok.
Balik guys.
Balik.
Ui, nice one guys.
Aku. Tengok guys, bocil. Aku hati.
Tak apa.
Flicker fasa. Kiting guys.
Kimi mati.
Boleh Ana, boleh.
Nice one, boys.
Nice. Sabar, lagi satu game lagi.
Load terus kan.
Kau boleh naik. Ni tahu aku naik.
Low ya, turun.
Nice. Ganti. Boleh datang ke?
Boleh.
Sampai ke?
Sini.
Jom.
Ulti.
Nanti ni kena nanti.
Dapat nih.
Sabar nih.
Joy, look at Joy. Aman say. Nice one.
Boleh. Sabar.
I can catch up. Nice one, Kim. Back. Fokus. Nice job. Aman now. Fokus. Ui.
Baik gila, alhamdulillah ya Allah.
Targeting.
Tak ada arti yang Zakif.
Mati.
Mas Spender tak ada flicker lagi tau. Mas Spender.
Dah ni, aku ni.
Ni.
Hero.
Nice. Simi.
Left to skin.
I stun him.
Nice.
Freak.
Blocking game.
Aman, menang.
Reset. Alhamdulillah.
Bawa.
Tengok.
Tengok.
Zul, lu sama kau Zul.
No,
Go. Tower.
Lagi no second.
Jauh. Nice one.
Mana?
Lego Zul.
Ya.
Dia spot flash dah.
Kanan, bro.
Ini Lui.
Kanan, bro.
Kanan.
GG.
Itu.
Mati tak?
Dia left.
Oh, astagfirullah. That's right.
Fight for ultimate glory starts now.
Mobile Legend M6 Swiss Watch.
Kerap menggaru kulit kepala disebabkan kelomomor, masalahnya lebih mendalam. Gunalah Head and Shoulders menembusi 5 lapisan untuk membasmi kelomomor dan kegatalan. Bebas kelomomor sehingga 100%. Head and Shoulders diuji secara dermatologi. んな渦巻きナルトが帰ってきたぞ。
You keep scratching the surface for dandruff? But the problem lies deeper. Use Head & Shoulders. It goes 5 layers deep to defeat dandruff and itch. Be up to 100% dandruff-free. Head & Shoulders. Dermatologically tested.
見せてやるよ。車輪ガンの本当の力をな。力が湧いてくる。やかましい奴らだ。
Jiwa perwira, setinggi semangat gagah sang harimau. Medan bertarung walau di mana kita berdiri sama perkasa. Biar lawangan kita bergema satu dunia. Perwira dan pertiwi, bangkitlah dan terus berjuang. Marilah kita bersorak, harapan pasti ada. Ayo Tim Mas, kita mara bersama. Kita semua Tim Mas.
みんなを守るために私はもっと強くなる。
しかいないと俺はそう信じている。
Ini 5 sebab kenapa korang kena datang tengok MPL MY di Stadium Juara. Pertama, korang dapat tengok kita orang main dan tim MPL lain main secara langsung. Kedua, boleh jumpa player depan-depan. Ketiga, sebab ada booth Vamos. Empat, tiket murah, RM10 je. Dan sekali, yang penting sebab ada saya lah. Jom datang Stadium Juara setiap minggu untuk tonton semua tim MPL MY bertanding. And paling penting, jangan lupa beli tiket guys kat Ticket to You atau tekan link di bio. Jangan lupa follow MPL MY.
Trofi MPL Malaysia, dia adalah simbol untuk tunjuk kejayaan satu pasukan. Dia membina legasi. Mana-mana gaming house I pergi, they proudly display their trophy because they know what that trophy means to them as a team.
There's quite a few champion moments that I can't forget for sure. When Homeboys won their very first championship, that was a very pivotal moment because Homeboys has never really gotten to that length of the tournament.
Rasanya trofi season 12 tu betul-betul bermakna untuk saya lah. Last saya dapat trofi tu season 3. So saya tunggu lama lah untuk pegang trofi tu. Season 3 saya menang atas usaha yang kuat. So bila first kemenangan tu rasa macam tak percaya. But then bila season 12 tu menunjukkan konsistensi kot saya dalam scene ni. Saya cuba banyak kali. cuma fail juga. Pada tiba-tiba 0-12 miracle happen lah.
Season yang saya tak boleh lupakan is season 9 sebab itu first time saya champion. Dan saya dapat MVP pada season tu lah.
Masa Grand Final season 9, saya ada teman Momo sebab dia gunakan sniper. Tapi sekarang saya baru sedar yang kita orang dua tak communicate dan saya pun nervous jugalah. So yeah, sorry Momo.
SRG did it so handedly as well. Haven't had like champions who've dominated that hard in quite some time.
Time season 13 bermula, Maria from WTM datang interview saya dekat sekolah saya and saya ada cakap saya boleh kalahkan Chibi or being better than him, then it's just come true lah what I said.
Honestly, I nampak the new design for the trophy is very nice. For me, trofi baru ni adalah signal kepada semua pasukan that kita kena tinggalkan cara yang lama and start bergerak dengan cara yang baru. Disebabkan kita dah nampak usaha berkali-kali, hanya SRG je yang betul-betul boleh bawa nama Malaysia dekat international. So pastikan you come very prepared. Hopefully dengan trofi baru kita pun akan nampak banyak player baru ataupun organisation baru yang boleh step up and wakil Malaysia dekat international.
They said there's a limit in the women's league. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI, where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant. We're ready. We're limitless. They said there's a limit in the women's league. In MWI, we say limit? Watch us bounce. From the MWI queens everyone knows, to the stars who came out from nowhere, to the ultimate champions. Now, MWI is expanding greater than ever. Turkey, EECA, Africa, Mongolia, and beyond. We're stretching the map wider. MWI, where dreams get louder. This isn't just a tournament. It's your passport to the world stage. A spotlight for women in the EWC. No rules, no ceilings, no limits. Just this. We're vibrant. We're ready. We're limitless.
Hello guys, so for today I'm going to rate MPL one more. Hello guys, so for today I'm going to rate top gold laners from MPL MY. So first is Kusei. Because I think he's the one who's carrying their team and he's being consistent on his role.
Kusei saya letak dekat B lah, B. So ada Mel QT, saya letak S.
Biasa-biasa S. Because they're just playing new team but their gameplay is kinda great, so I think S.
So kita ada Lolial, saya letak C.
Hey, because when I'm watching their ISF, when they won, I think you just really need to have some good teammates that can help him carry the game.
Lepas tu kita ada Super Z, saya letak A. Sebab dia selalu gendong-gendong.
Sky Z. Oh, okay, remember. Because he got savage, that's why I put him at S+.
Ada Innocent, the one and only, letak atas ni.
Innocent kita letak dekat saya, so dia God, kita letak dia S.
Me? F. Getting carried by teammates.
Lepas tu ada Trap. Saya letak Trap dekat A juga. Sebab Trap dengan SkyZ sama. Diorang selalu gendong tim diorang.
Trap. Because he wants to solo kill me, so I'll put him at S+.
Aduh, Trap ni dia kawan aku lah. Kita orang rapat. Sorry lah, Trap. F. SkyZ, hari tu lawan 2-1, saya letak F lah. Lolial, 2-0, saya letak F ke A, F. Kusei, 2-0, okey, 2-0, F ke A.
Let's Presco, saya letak B.
B for now. Because their team kinda underperformed since last 2 seasons.
Nets, F.
Shaheen, saya letak dekat B.
B. Because I watch his highlights, his solo kill DRit. Thumbs up.
Shaheen pun F. Okay, nampaknya semua kita letak F.
So ada sekali saya. Saya mungkin duduk sebelah Innocent.
Huh? Rough. This one, good kid, good kid. So I'll just put him in A.
Rough kita belum lawan guys. So kita letak dia dekat A dulu lah, A dulu. Sebab kita tak tahu, mungkin kita kalah. Last, me, myself and I, kita letak dekat D lah. Janganlah kita letak sini lah. Kita tak tahu lawan Raf macam mana. So kita sebanding dengan Raf dulu lah. Obi mana Obi? Obi tak ada?
Okay, itu saja from saya. MB Raf, bye. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Kami dekat regular ni selalu menang 2-1 dan kalah pun 2-1 dan boleh jadi kat playoff ni kami boleh menang 3-1, boleh menang 3-2. So lebih banyak match saya rasa tim kami lebih kuat. Playoff kali ni boleh dikatakan playoff yang paling kita orang berat lah sebab since kita orang mula daripada bawah kan. So kali ni kita try daripada bawah sebab kita dah try daripada atas. Kita gagal. So kali ni kita try daripada bawah pula.
Ini playoff ketiga saya actually, tapi kalau untuk konsisten, bang, untuk 2 season ni saya happy gila lah. So MPL Malaysia saya tengok makin kuat dengan import baru. Memang kuat lah sekarang.
Aku berharap aku datang FA, aku bisa bawa FA buat jadi top tim di Malaysia. Ya syukur-syukur juara.
Untuk playoff ni kami memang betul-betul all out sebab season ni adalah season eSport World Cup and saya rasa semua tim pun memang target untuk capai target tu and kami pun tak akan buang-buang masa lah, kami akan betul-betul all out dalam 1 bulan ni.
Kalau tengok daripada regular season, punya future untuk tripit tu I can say 80%, but kita tak boleh content or complacent lah dengan apa yang kita ada. Kena still hustling lah for that goal.
Hello guys, saya Era 44 and hari ni saya nak rate siapa jungle paling padu kat MPL MY season ni.
First, kita ada RRQ Hazel atau dia kena kali Aero Hazel sekarang. Dia solo kill saya yang early, so macam seram dengan dia ni. So saya kena letak sini kot.
So Hazel is the king of jungle right now. So I will put this.
Hazel sini kot. Tahu.
Next ada Emal, tengah-tengah A, B, C. Mungkin saya tak C kot. Jahat lah. Dia nombor 2. Tak boleh lah. Biar B.
Emal, I think A.
Emal ni padu juga. Maybe A kot.
Match, saya dah lawan ke? Oh, dah. Saya tak D lah. Reason, tak payah cakap.
Match ni rasa kurang bila saya lawan dia. C lah.
Oh, Kimin. Uish, dia dah house. Saya boleh letak C kot.
Kimin ni juga dia bagi impact kat team DXO lah. So maybe A lah.
Ush, siapa ni? Oh, tak kenal ni. Ni out of data. So saya tak tahu. Saya letak bawah.
Guys, kita ada S. Final boss. Sky sini lah.
Ush, Team Ray. So saya tak A.
Lazir, C.
Lazir. Sini kot.
Sekarang kita ada Chibi, The Goat. So The Goat kita akan letak S. Dua ni Goat kan?
B ke A lah? B lah.
My idol.
Alamak, ada Goat yang kedua. Ketiga. Kita letak A lah.
Aero, C lah.
Aero 404. Sini lah.
Weh, ada Prime Zahid juga. Respect sikit lah.
Zahid, B lah.
Zahid. Zahid ni power juga. S.
Weh, GB. Saya geram dengan dia. Tak apa.
JB D lah.
JB A lah.
Ronaldo guys. King of Fanny. I think he's the good lah. Boleh tukar-tukar sikit tak? Kita tukar. Chibi still the best. The good of the good. The reason saya tak Gabriel kat F sebab kalau korang tengok Fanny dia, uish, saya ada nampak satu komen daripada owner dia, Sagam. Uish. Saya as user Fanny rasa macam tersakiti tau tengok Fanny dia. So, tak mahal GB tapi it's true.
Ini boleh lah, power kat lah. S. Hazel letak aku kat mana
Uish, apa ni? Cupu dia.
You what?
Mudah. Ini kids, boleh lah. Ada idol saya, Seki.
MPL Malaysia Season 15 is powered by Moontar. Official gaming smartphone, Infinix GT30 Pro. Are you ready to carry like a pro? The ultimate gaming smartphone is finally here. Introducing the GT30 Pro. Equipped with all-day full FPS system, you'll experience 0 frame drops, just pure, smooth, stable gameplay all day long. Powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 5G chipset. It's fast, efficient, and ready for your most intense gaming sessions. And with the GT trigger, you get pro-level shortcuts. Buy items fast, check the scoreboard instantly, and pull off clean combos like you've never before. Get yours now, because every purchase comes with a free mag charge cooler and mag case, while stocks last. Fairy Watch, the official Mobile Legends esports watch made in Switzerland with genuine dragon leather. Comes in 3 colorways, green, black, and blue. Our esports partners, Head & Shoulders, up to 100% dandruff-free and itch protection. Head & Shoulders is dermatologically tested, penetrates 5 layers deep to eliminate dandruff. Get yours now. And thank you to all our strategic partners. 100 Plus, Playas, Astro Arena, MPL Merchandise, MPL Ticketing, supported by KBS, ESI, Raka Muda, MESF, PSM.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MPL Malaysia Playoffs Phase 1. And first of all, I do have to say, if you are here watching the intro, then I guess the other games haven't started yet. My name is Phil, alongside with me is Stafa, and this is going to be the second best of 5 for today. It is going to be DXO going up against MV. Winner goes up against Homeboys. Loser, just like Vamos, will get eliminated.
Our second and final play-in match of the MPL Malaysia Season 15 playoffs. For those of you who are just joining us right now, you will have maybe missed witnessing the elimination of Team Vamos from Season 15 at the hands of Aero Esports, who took their first series of the day with a 3-1 score. Question is, what will happen between Monster Vicious and DXS?
We're looking into the future now. MV and DXO prepare for a full 5-game showdown. And here's the thing, if the games are good, I don't mind. It's bad, I gotta move even back. At least we're at the same height here, Staffar. Official shampoo partner, we gotta say thank you to Head & Shoulders. Out to 100% dandruff-free plus itch protection. Out to 100% protection for dandruff and itch wiped out. Dermatologically tested, goes 5 layers deep to defeat dandruff and itch. It's kind of like the amount of bands and players that we have. It's 5. It's all 5 layers.
All 5 layers at once, all thanks to Head & Shoulders. So make sure you guys go show them some love, you know,
This
grab
is my
some for
way.
yourself.
This is my way of saying I'm on the edge.
Yeah, you guys can't see it, but he is actually standing on the edge of the stage right there. Let's hope you remain stable over there.
I got this cable. It's hot. It's good. But here's the thing: DXO and MV, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be great. You know what? I believe. DXO, they're the team that came from MAL. They can do it. But MV as well. People said they might be the other team going to MSC. But then again, everyone says that. Arrow's going to MSC. Homeboy is going to MSC. MV's going. It's time to show up or
go
shut
home.
up.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically same thing. But yes, especially 2 seasons ago was when it was it 2? No, last season. Last season was the strongest, where people were saying that like MV feels like the most likely team to take that second slot alongside SRG to go to M6, and then they got eliminated in the play-in stage, day 1. Now they're going to be playing the play-ins once again. They obviously don't want to repeat that. You know, they want to go further, get that second life. But DXS, there's just something about them.
Something about them, folks. Now you see me getting bigger and bigger as I get closer to the camera. Okay, too close. Back up just a little bit. Now here's the thing. DXO, they are a new team. And the thing about new teams is that they're not used to playing very long games. So if MV actually stretched them out, force them to play 4 games, 5 games, DXO might make a mistake, because so far, game number 3, that's the games where DXO is most likely to make a mistake. Now, to be fair, in the previous 2 weeks, I think they brushed up on game number 3. They've been winning those game number 3, so maybe they got better. But is it enough to go 5 games?
Well, personally, I actually have a lot of respect for DX Seoul for being an MAL team that has made it this far, but also in terms of their gameplay, I feel like they genuinely have a lot of tenacity, right? And like you mentioned, LaFell, in the later weeks of the regular season, really started working on that last game to make sure that they're not giving away as much space. And I think they are one of the stronger late game teams we have.
Yep. And now for DX Seoul, I believe we were able to talk with them either backstage, side stage, on stage, below stage. Either ways, we were able to talk to DX Seoul, and we asked them a question. You might want to know what the question is. Same do I. Let's check out the video.
To all the fans that never expected us to even reach playoffs in the first place, I think you guys shouldn't underestimate us because there's a reason why we're not getting swept by all the strong teams. So expect that we will be strong in playoff.
Untuk test yang 2-1, kita orang selalu dapat tu, saya tak kisah pun. Asalkan kita orang dapat menang first game tu, kalah 1, menang 1, kalah 1, dan menang game yang kelima.
Maybe it's a curse, but for me, it's a strength of our team. Considering that week 5 to week 6, we have the momentum of 3 win streak. Even though it's all 2-1 and not against the top teams, I think it's still really confidence booster for us. So anyone we meet in playoffs should be ready against us.
The more games you play, the more experience you have.
True.
And the more experience you have, the more you level up. And the more you level up, your retribution gets stronger. So this might be good for DX Seoul.
Yeah, compared to the first match of the day where the retributions really didn't do much, maybe we'll get to see some stronger retributions for the second match of the day here. And we saw in that video that DX Seoul's goal for this match is to win game 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah.
So they themselves are aware of this curse that they've had where they just can't seem to win 2 games in a row. But hey, if you win all the odd numbered games, you do still get the 3 victories you need to move on.
So I guess that's the key to victory. Win game 1. And then cross the bridge whenever you get there. You know, game 2, game 3, etc. Now we're looking at Uni here, one of the best junglers as well. We saw earlier the other junglers, they compare him to say that he is one of the best. You know, S tier, S plus tier. And even Kyrie said one of the best fanny players the world has to offer.
Yep. Uni, as we all may know, rose from the Tier 2 scene, breaking out in Season 11 by securing 4th place alongside Xeno and Nova X Kobar right here in Stadium Juara. In fact, this is a player who's been trying to make it onto the main stage with Monster Vicious for a while, and he officially joined in Season 13, but was mostly benched with the team finishing 7th to 8th place.
And then, since then, Uni and the team have steadily improved, securing 5th, 6th place in Season 14. And him himself, as a player, has been improving so much that usually people improve in their mechanics and macro. Uni even stepped up as a shot caller, where when we hear the mic checks, you can hear him telling the team, step by step, if we want to win this fight, go for the front line, and then I will do this. And then you guys will go to the back line, and then bada bing, bada boom, we get a win. I like that he stepped up as a leader.
Yeah, I think it's very important to have that voice to direct the team, to make sure that all of your players are rallied together. When we look at the history of Uni, he was able to get 4th place during Season 11 with Team Lunatics, and then after that joining with Monster Vicious, and getting slowly but surely better results. In fact, again, I do think that if they weren't matched up against Todak in the previous season, there's a very good chance that they could have made it through the play-ins, which is something they do not want to repeat.
I do like their drip though. Like their shirts may look a little bit busy, but I kind of feel like it's growing on me a little bit. Like a lot of sponsors here and there, which is good. Sponsors are great, which does put a little bit of pressure. They should win this one against DX Seoul. So the best of 5. Who would have thought that game number 1 would be this important?
It really is, actually, because...
Should I step back forward, or am I okay?
Yeah, the difficult thing is, my cable is not that long. I can't actually go back there with you.
Oh,
which
you
means,
can?
yeah, I can, because, like, you see, oh, wait, no, I had...
Yeah, actually, you can.
I had more length than I thought. It was longer than I thought, LaFell.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Anyways, going into this matchup, I'm looking at the teams, and we saw that the teams does look quite ready. So after this, will we be introducing them up there, but talk about predictions here. I think I went for MV.
That is not what I said.
You said DX, I remember, and you said 3-2, right?
Yes, I said 3-2 in favor of DX.
For the record, Stafa said 3 for DX, 2 for MV, but mine is correct. I did say 3 MV and 1 for DX. So this is like, we were both right in the first series. Now, what if we're both wrong?
I was going to be positive and be like, oh, at least one of us is going to be wrong. But then you proposed the idea that both of us could be wrong.
I always think of the worst stuff. That's,
you know what? That's
how
fair.
you survive. That's how you survive.
That is true. I mean, the thing is, DX Seoul is a team that ends up dragging games to the full series. Yes,
exactly.
We have not seen how that affects the best of 5 yet, so I'm kind of curious about that. But at the same time, Monster Vicious has not been that consistent this season, right? Sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad, and unlike last season where they would lose to weak teams and win against stronger teams, they don't really have that trend now. It's just kind of a guessing game.
If you guys don't know, MV was the kind of team, and I'm legit, you can check the history books. They can win against SRG and then lose against OB. It sounds funny now, but trust me, that's the kind of team MV was before.
I still can't believe that actually happened.
That legit happened. Check it out.
And it was consistent too. It wasn't just like a couple of games. It was basically the entire season that this was happening.
If you're top 5, we're taking you down. If you're bottom 5, I guess we're going down with you.
So it's really, really weird. At least this season they haven't been doing that, but now they don't even have that. You know, it's kind of a situation where they haven't really improved enough to say that they've officially left that legacy behind. Because part of me wishes it was still here.
Well, now we got to look at the lineup coming in from Monster Vicious. And again, leading with Uni, the jungler, as the leader here, alongside with Ruff, Nova Escobar, Roundel, as well as Zeno. Where Roundel, I feel like he has a lot to prove here. Because in the previous season, Martizi really helped out the team as a mid laner to either settle the fights or deal the damage. Roundel does his job well, following up with Nova Escobar. But I kind of feel like he has to do a little bit more, right? He has to get out of his comfort zone and start making plays.
Roundel has gone on record to say that he wants to make MV the top team in Malaysia. And has already pointed out that in the past, he has refused offers from other Malaysian teams to join MV because he felt they were the best. So he definitely has something he wants to prove, not just for himself, but for his teammates as well. And for the rest of MV, there is definitely some work to do in terms of consistency. If we're talking about consistency, DX Seoul have been able to drag out most of their series and still somehow come out on top.
Yeah, we got SkyZ, Rossi, Stone, Kimin, as well as Siska. And Siska really in the running to be the rookie of the season. And SkyZ has been getting 2 Savages. But the thing is, I looked at the number stuff. Savages, amazing. But when it comes to how much damage he dealt, I don't think he's even top 5.
Ooh, surprising. But really,
I could be wrong.
Makes sense.
Because ADHD and I'm colorblind, so I could look at the numbers wrong.
Understandable. I mean, I get it though. SkyZ tends to play a little bit safer in the back, and when he tries to go forward, can get punished. When he does well, it really does require the conditions to be correct.
Well, I'm looking onto the stage, and looks like both Monster Vicious as well as DX Seoul are ready. So let's introduce them.
Recording 5 victories in 9 matches throughout the regular season. They've leveled up with sharper strategies and iron discipline. Is this the moment they erase last season's heartbreak and rise again? Brace yourselves for the beast in the arena, Monster Vicious!
Making their MPL debut and charging straight into the playoffs. They shocked the scene, pushing nearly every opponent to a fierce 2-1 battle, carrying the hopes of becoming Malaysia's representative in their very first season.
Can they slay the Giants and take the next step forward? Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for DX Soul!
Introducing the coaching staff of both teams alongside our head of League Ops Franklin that'll ensure fair play and professional integrity in the matches. On the side of Monster Vicious, we have Coach Haru and Sora. And for DX Soul, we have Coach Tio and Backdoor.
And now let's keep it going with the fist bump between the teams. True sign of professionalism. And now we'll be checking out who will be the captains for this matchup. It looks like the one picking it up is going to be rough, and it looks like Siska will be the captain for this one, going up against Monster Vicious. Now both teams, this is the matchup that we know will go the distance. The question is, who can hold out? Who can push it all the way? Who will be going up against Homeboys?
Only a single upper bracket semi-final spot remains, and only one of these two teams will be able to claim it. DX Soul going to have first pick selection for game number 1. And now it's time to get down to business, LaFell. Let's talk about these teams. How do they approach the draft?
I feel like when you're talking about the draft here, something that you can target is actually Kimin, because he so far hasn't showed that much of heroes. But what I would say, we got to look at the graphic here. Team most pick and bans. And looking at the numbers here, funnily enough, DX Soul is 50-50 when it comes to blue and red side win. I mean, they have a lot of 2-1s, right? It's easier to get that kind of number. And if we're looking at MV, blue side only 44% win rate, red side 69%. Nice. And now looking at the heroes used and everything like that, actually DX Soul has more unique heroes used compared to MV. MV only has 33. DX Soul only 37, but I kind of feel like in this matchup, it is going to be the jungle, because Uni is an assassin player. And Kimin, he can play that assassin, but in their MAL run, they practiced so much where Kimin was the utility, and then Siska was the damage dealer. So I kind of feel like MV just has to keep that in the back of their mind, that they can always pivot, right? You can have Masha, you can have Benedetta. Those are the heroes that you have to watch out for if Siska gets it.
It's funny to think, because most of the time, the more successful games coming out of DX Soul have resulted from Heemin on a utility tank jungle and Siska on a damage EXP laner. So that definitely is a strategy that they might fall back to. DX Soul, I think in general, is a team with a little bit more flexibility in how they want to approach the draft overall, and don't really have any notable priority picks. Comparatively, Monster Vicious likes to play a singular style, play a little slower early, set up for mid-game death ball team fighting, and try to win the game off of that momentum.
Yeah. And now we got to look at the jungle comparison here of Uni and Kimin as well. Looking at the unique heroes, it does look like they're looking pretty equal. Both have used 8 heroes each, unless, you know, the graphic just doesn't have enough space to show other heroes that they've been using. In terms of comfort heroes, it does look like Kimin is more comfortable on that Hayabusa, picking it up 10 times with 69% win rate. And for Uni, apparently his comfort is the Lucas. 7 times pick with 57% win rate, but their best hero is Kimin on that Fredrin with 100% win rate with 3 picks. And with Uni, 4 picks with 75% win rate. So looking at the stat here, it does look like Hayabusa is going to be contested. But the Fredrin, man, that shows that if Kimin gets onto comfort, like back in MAL days, they can do it. They can win the game.
It's actually interesting that DX Soul doesn't put too much priority into drafting the Fredrin jungle for Kimin, because the few games that they have brought it out have gone very, very well for them. So a lot of it does come down to other teams deciding they just don't want to deal with it after they saw it the first couple of times.
You know what? Shout out to the comment. I totally forgot to do this, but now I remember. Everything's all set. Let's have a match tonight.
Well, we are slowly approaching nighttime, everyone, so perhaps the timing will line up for that. But we are indeed all set to jump right in.
Yep, now, looks like Coach Tio bans out that Fanny as well as the Lucas. So really looking at Uni, doesn't want him to get an advantage here. And now, looks like DX Soul bans out the Fredrin as well as the Chip, which is Am I looking at this right?
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, Envy is the one that banned the Fred. Okay, yeah, okay, Envy banned Fred. All right.
Yeah, obviously it'll ban the
It's weird
Fredrin.
because I have to look at there to see the bans, not here.
Yeah, sometimes when you look on stage, the teams are
Orientation.
actually reversed. So that's something to keep in mind, especially when you guys come by and watch if you're gonna be showing up in person for the rest of the playoffs. But yeah, DX has already been known to be pretty good at utility jungle, so getting rid of the Fredrin is pretty good. They also removed the Baxia from the pool so that they don't have to risk any sort of gambits, and they throw that first pick question over to DX.
Right, I kind of feel like Storm can do well with the Jushin, and it's probably a pretty solid opening here, but looks like they're picking up the Phoveus. This kind of instantly shows their hand though, right? Like, Phoveus is a strong hero, but this does mean that Siska is not going to be using a damage dealer. Although, to be fair, both Baxia and Fredrin's off the table, so probably not a lot of good tanks in the jungle at this point.
The thing is, Phoveus is such a universal hero these days that he honestly can do some damage if the conditions line up for him. And even though there are EXP laners in the pool that are good at countering him, he will still end up contributing to team fights a lot of the time. That's why his win rate is so high.
And I feel like this is also, in a way, shutting down Uni just a little bit, because which assassin doesn't have dashes, right? So I kind of feel like that's the target here, trying to force out a little bit for Uni to use something like a fighter. But we've seen him in this situation before. If there's no other choices, he'll go for that Hanzo. Because I feel like if you want to go for the Lancelot, maybe a little bit tricky going up against this Phoveus. But either ways, good opening coming in from Envy, picking up the Kalia as well as that Granger, which in a sense shuts down a lot of matchups here. But they still pick up the Hayabusa as well as the Kimi. I feel like a Ling is what they're looking for. I don't know if they were going to go for it because of the Phoveus.
Yeah, Phoveus just automatically makes it very difficult to play a lot of the more mobile.
Not impossible.
Not impossible,
yeah.
yes, but more difficult. And so it depends on whether or not you want to play into that in the first place. The EXO have already revealed the Hayabusa and the Kimi, so that indicates that they want to play for a little bit around that mid lane prio. Phoveus should give them a good stance in the EXP lane, and that'll allow them to start contesting objectives pretty early on. You ideally want a mage that can combo well with the Kalea and exert early game pressure, and Farsa definitely fills in those gaps.
So this is an interesting banning phase here, because usually what most teams do is at this point ban out the 1-1. But because they already have the Farsa, a very good answer for the 1-1, I'm just wondering, are they gonna take the risk and just let it go? Because in case you guys don't know, SkyZ got the Savage with the 1-1 twice, 2 days in a row.
Half of the Savages of the whole season come from SkyZ on a single hero in 2 separate games. That's why the EXO felt very comfortable locking in the hero in their subsequent games during the regular season, even when there wasn't any notable picks that it would be used to counter. So that is definitely a possibility, and they have already locked in the Phoveus for themselves, so it's always something that they can consider since they don't have to worry about the 1-1 being counted by that hero.
Legit, the entire draft feels like they're just targeting Uni, because now they're banning out the Hanzo. And the fact that they have the Kimi means that if they want to go cheeky, right? Pick up a fighter, pick up a tank in the jungle. The Kimi can do damage against you. And against Hayabusa, he also wins a lot of matchups. So the only one that's really open right now is that Joy.
Yeah, with Lucas also banned out, Joy going to be one of the more obvious picks coming in here for Uni.
Oh, by the way, 1-1 did get banned.
Yeah, it did get banned. So they were also thinking the same things we were. The Glue also going to be banned out just to give Phoveus a little bit more advantage in that EXP lane. Now MV needs to make a choice. They're still going to be looking for their EXP lane and their jungle.
CC Hylos, right? I feel like Hylos is a good matchup against the Phoveus, and you need a front line because Kalia can front line, right? She can catch, but not a front line.
Yeah, I think Hylos would be pretty solid here, actually. He gives you that advantage in lane versus the Phoveus. You also deny the potential pick away from DX themselves so that they're able to... I mean, Xeno did play Esmeralda, but I don't feel like this is the right game for it. Yes, it can win lane against Phobius, but it's not particularly good against the other two heroes. Yeah, Hylos makes more sense.
The question is, this should be a Kimi mid, because so far Storm has been using it, but who knows? Maybe the weeks have gone by, and then maybe they can draft a Selena here so that Storm can use it and just ask Sky Z to use the Kimi in the goal, because this also looks like a game that Selena would work well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Selena would be really good to provide vision for Kalea's ambushes or just threaten the feathered airstrike.
And Gatot as well. Gatot is open.
All very solid options. The XS is going to need to complete their draft here. They don't actually know what the jungler is from MV yet, and that's just something they're going to have to accept. Especially with all the bans they've already taken out. They can probably expect that it is going to be either Joy or a fighter. They go for the Harif. It works well since they already have the Phobius for themselves. But also the Khalid.
I kind of feel like this is just Rossi, like, want to get a little bit more comfortable. Because he has won games where this Khalid just shuts down the mid lane so much. And against the Kalia and the Farsa, where both are not known to have a lot of HP, I kind of feel like this Khalid can work, especially if, just imagine this, right? Kimi, second skills, stuns both of them up, enhanced basic attack on the Khalid, and then just first skills to death.
There is potentially strong combinations between the Traction Pulse and the Raging Sandstorm,
yeah, that too.
You can time it pretty easily. And I do think it's a good idea now that I really think about it. MV doesn't have that much early game threat, and there's not a lot of heroes that can cancel the Quicksand Guard either, so Rossi could make a lot happen in the first couple of minutes there. But let's find out whether it will go to plan, because Monster Vicious going to be keeping the memories of their previous play in elimination in their minds and making it sure that they will not fall into the same trap once again.
Right now, I'm looking at the lineup here, and it does look like DxSoul, they have a very aggressive draft. This is a very good draft coming in from them. The only thing that we do have to consider is that if we're talking about the laning phase, the Granger will have a better time going up against the Harif. Until Harif gets, before Harif gets level 4, it's not going to be a good lane for Harif. And then we're looking at the EXP as well. The Hylos does win again against that Phobius. It's only the mid where we can see a potential that DxSoul can actually win that mid lane. So I kind of feel like the management of the laners here is going to be very crucial in this matchup.
The thing is, we think about the common habits of these teams, though, is that in the early game, they tend to not really go for particularly aggressive rotations. Rossi gonna prove me wrong straight away. Now he has to flicker away.
Yep. And I kind of feel like this is what you want to do, where you want to set the tempo, right? Especially because the Granger naturally has an advantage earlier, so you kind of want to put him in the bad spot. But Nova Escobar understanding that there's a chance that Ruff will get punished, so it just comes in and heal him up.
That is one of the plus benefits of having a Kalea around. Even before having access to that ultimate, just the sheer healing that she's able to provide to her team from her passive is actually kind of ridiculous. At levels 1 and 2, you can get topped up in basically an instant.
Yep. Looking at the bottom lane here, it does look like they're putting, you know, sources down. But Siska is not going to get baited. Still going to be completely fine. And now looks like Storm's still doing quite okay. And Nova Escobar taking quite a lot of damage coming in from this Kimi.
It's something you have to expect. Kimi is going to outpoke almost anyone in the game, especially this early on when no one really has the defensive items to eat it. For now, though, Zeno in a lot of trouble, gonna get ganked by 3. Nova Escobar holding on to the title strike, and Kimin doesn't quite, not gonna commit his ultimate. Forces out the Revitalize, but no kill on the Hylos.
Dude, the fact that Hylos still survived, and it took that much, like, oh, that was... He's a tanky guy, and DxSoul, they were... If they committed the ult, maybe they could have gotten the kill. So I hope that Kimin has a better idea of what he wants to do with that Ogi Shadow kill. Maybe try to assassinate, maybe Roundo in this turtle fight.
I'm not sure if Kimin was thinking they could get it without it, but now the turtle being contested, Kimin comes in, Feather Strike Uni, gonna secure the turtle away! Zeno gonna be picked up as first blood though, and now DxSoul looking for some revenge! Tsunami Slam, gonna pull Rossi backwards, but Nova Escobar is so low! Unfortunately, DxSoul has run out of gas. That's gonna be all they get.
I would say that's kinda equal because one turtle... Nah, not that equal, because DxSoul did get a turtle and get the kill. Okay, never mind. Wait,
No,
Monster Vicious
MP got the turtle.
Okay, that's why I was weirded out, because I believe that he got, okay. I'm colorblind, okay? I was about to say Zeno, he did die, but it was good because that stun prevented Kimin from using the retribution. So a good call from Uni as well as Zeno to make sure that they secure that. So even trade, turtle or kill, I feel like it's okay. 300 gold, no one's really gonna miss anything here.
So far, the game state still pretty even, as expected. Nomad Kobar gonna get caught in the traction pulse. Maybe a bit too far. Tsunami Slam cancelled by his death, but Glorious Pathway comes in. Raging Sandstorm Flicker used by Rasi to escape. Better Airstrike threatening Stone, but he's able to survive just one last hit away. It looks like Nova is gonna be the only kill.
Yeah, right now we're looking at DX Soul. They're being very proactive in the match, which is something that I really like, where even though Monster Vicious historically is a very strong team, but they're not playing scared. If they see an opportunity, they're gonna go for it. So I like that DX Soul, at least for this week, it looks like they have improved in terms of understanding, like, we're in the playoffs too. We're as strong as everyone here.
I think if you've prepared enough, you'll understand that Monster Vicious is not a team you can afford to give initiative over to. This team naturally plays a little slower, loves to play for the mid-game phase, and wants to be the ones initiating big team fights. If you're able to match up to their tempo, you disable a lot of their snowball capability.
I mean, now Zeno taking a lot of damage here.
Kimin looks like he's not gonna Ogi Shadow kill, but the Glorious Pathway has been used, so that's an important ultimate MV does not have.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe this is just Coach Theo letting them know that you don't have to kill that high loss. As long as you get a lot from him, the Revitalize, the Glorious Pathway, I feel like that's enough. So maybe this is DX Soul playing a different game here, where you're not going all in, you're just getting the resources from your opponents and playing around it.
I like it so far. It's good discipline from a very new team. Zeno once again gonna eat some poke, but Ruff is also here to join the fight. This is gonna be a 5v5, and we all know that Monster Vicious loves their 5v5. Tidal Strike going to miss. Here comes the Glorious Pathway used by Zeno. He did so much damage to Flicker! 4-man knockup into the Raging Sandstorm. Tsunami Slam gonna pull Siska backward, but the Infernal Pursuit cancels the better airstrike. Siska is doing so much work right now. Ogi Shadow Kill executes Nova in the backline, and Siska will finally fall.
That 3-man knockup was amazing by Siska. He dies, but so what? They give a lot of advantage here because they got a turtle, and more importantly, they showed that Monster Vicious, you can't really go for this team fight. And with that, kind of psychologically, DX Soul is going to have a better position here in the map.
Yeah, that is very, very good. Siska, he held his ground. Even though he ate most of his HP and damage instantly, the initiation and then the continued follow-up, ready to throw his life away to get the objective, gave DX Soul another kill on top of that as well. It was on a less important target, the Kalea, but it's still very good because it's allowed them to build up that 2k gold lead now.
As a roamer, hold on. Looks like
unlucky for Kimin, he get caught! Tsunami Slam pulls him into the fettered airstrike. That is rough.
Stop it, man.
That was not intentional.
Okay. As long as it's not intentional. Either ways, like, I kind of feel like even if you're able to get Nova Escobar early, I feel like it's good, especially considering what he's going to build. Because if he dies a lot... Oh! Wait, how did they get Siska?
It's a 3-man gang. They died behind the tier 1.
The fact that they stayed there. They got a kill and then they stayed there.
They're gonna try and burn down Zeno now, but Revitalize doing so much. Raging Sandstorm also not quite enough as Fettered Airstrike zones Stone away. Rasi still alive though, sets up for SkyZ. He pops the Salmon Force, goes in, but Ruff is there. Artillery sieging. Nova will go down. SkyZ needing to back off. Ogi Shadow Kill bounces it literally the most unlucky way possible. So Kimin doesn't find anything more.
How does Zeno not die? Like, he has escaped death so many times. At this point, he should be a gold laner.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, he takes a lot of hits and everything, so no, I understand. But the fact that he doesn't die is like, woof.
It goes to show, right? Hylos is one of the tankiest heroes in the game for a reason.
And he can even take the Lord. Hylos, man, like, that's no wonder he's the skin of the season.
Reza's Hylos stole the Lord earlier in the first match of the day, for those of you who didn't know. At the very least, so far, the junglers are actually the ones securing the turtle, so we're not really seeing a repeat of some very interesting stuff at the start of the day.
And now Rasi does find Roundel. Roundel does have to use the wings by wings. But
Conceal, flicker in, they find one. That's Rossi lifted up with the Tsunami Slam. Siska's in the backline, throw threatening rough. Killing spree going over to the Granger. Feather Destroy comes out. Zeno gonna be blasted down. Flavan Force coming out as well. Novax Kobar gonna be another casualty. It is a 1-for-2 trade.
Oh, this is early, but Kimin now has the Blade of Despair. So he's building a Hunter Strike into a Blade of Despair. So now this is a pretty big power spike by Kimin. So even if someone's alone, they really got to be careful because that damage is very deceiving, especially because people don't usually expect second item Blade of Despair.
Yeah, maybe he really was annoyed that the Oki Shadow kill bounced so unluckily previously, but that is a very important item to have at this stage. It's gonna melt down MV really, really quickly, and I don't even think it's meant to actually secure the kills. I'm pretty sure Kimin's gonna use that as a way to melt them down and let Skyzed and Stone finish him off.
Maybe even higher damage on your Sirkin to actually secure the Lord.
True.
Who knows?
That is definitely a possibility. For now, the first Lord of the game is up. The EXO will have the lead, but it's only 1k, and Uni just finished his Holy Crystal as well.
Yep, right now, it looks like the EXO, they are pulling it over. The only question is, what do they really want? Because the EXO, honestly, with the engage that they have, I kind of feel like there's a good argument to be made where they can start the fight.
Here comes the Conceal. Kimin gonna pop the Oki Shadow kill on Uni, drops him to half HP. Electrifying Beats also used, and Glorious Pathway on the opposite side as well. A lot of resources spent, but not really much to show for it on either team.
Yeah, it's only Kimin, right? He's the only one that used the ult. Everyone else still has it. Now Skyzed is gonna be safe. Now even the Feather Eshrek is gone. If the EXO's idea is just to bait out ults, they got it, man. They got it.
And that's exactly what they would hope to achieve here. Uni will have Electrifying Beats back, but the other two are still waiting on their timing. The EXO, unfortunately, not really able to find the angle needed to punish it, though, so I don't think the use of those ultimates is really gonna do much for my MV.
Yep. Yeah, the EXO, they were able to take away a lot of ults, but because they haven't been really all that active, they haven't been punishing that, so Monster Fish is still looking good. Because if you're looking at it, basically everyone has their ult back.
Stone playing a dangerous game here. Those Death Sonatas really starting to hit pretty hard because Ruff is 3-0-1 on this Granger currently. Both teams hovering around the mid-river, not willing to commit to a full-blown Lord fight yet.
The thing that I want, Staffa, is for DxSoul to hold on to the Lord and someone goes split push down bottom, because I feel like that's very free, but the problem is who? The best is Hayabusa, but the moment you see the Hayabusa is far away from the Lord, that's going to be Monster Vicious going straight and burst this Lord down, so you want it, but
it's important.
Yeah.
Oh, Traction Pulse pulls in Novax Kobar, Tidal Strike, gonna jump away, but that's a good amount of health gone from the Kalea. Feathered Airstrike once again forces the anti-grav thrusters from Stone and continuing to do poke damage to Rasi. Both teams still playing this pretty slow. Flicker, Tsunami Slam gonna pull Siska forward. Raging Sandstorm misses, puts them in the backline, and that's a mega double kill for Ruff. They've dived too deep. Triple for the Granger as Skyzed runs right into the Iron Sights. Kimin though picks up the shutdown. Somehow, Zeno still survives all that.
With that being said, everyone else from Monster Vision was so low, and that traction pull almost killed Nova Escobar, but it did cancel his recall. But in that trade, Monster Vicious won. And I'm not even talking about the kills, man. Look at the bottom lane. Not only did they get the turret, they even got the Holy Defense. I mean, like, to be fair, only a few seconds the Holy Defense is going to be gone anyways, but still, Monster Vicious, they just played a macro, right? And actually, it's not even Monster Vicious, just DxSoul not handling their lane.
I feel like DxSoul disrespected the positioning a little bit there, because Novax Kovar just flickered forward, dragged Siska back, and then the rest of DX just tried to follow in while the artillery from Ruff was just going ham at them. They gave this Granger way too many kills.
Now finally, Rasi is dealing with the bot wave. I feel like the problem with DxSoul is that, oh, hold on, the engagement
Traction Pulse comes in, Glorious Pathway, Kimin steals the Lord away. DxSoul now on disengage mode. Siska running away from Zeno, but the Death Sonata finds him. They'll trade EXP for EXP. DxSoul still looking to do some poke damage. I don't know if they want to keep this going. Yup, looks like they'll finally back it off.
Both EXP laners died and came in. This is what we want to see from junglers, man. Taking away objectives. That was a very good retribution, and I feel like that's really needed because everyone keeps saying that Kimin hasn't been performing for DxSoul. And now in the playoff so far, 4-1 and 2, getting that Lord, I feel like he's pretty clutch. The only problem is the XO, they might be tunnel visioning. I hope they fix that throughout the series, because if not, Monster Vicious, if they notice, they can win macro-wise.
Yeah, I agree. I think Monster Vicious has... Oh, Tsunami Slam pulls Rasi back into the Predator Strike, but he flickers out. Tier 2 mid will go down, but Monster Vicious sets up space to melt down the Lord before it hits the inhibitor.
DxO now, almost 3,000 ahead, Stauffa. And DxO, if they win game 1, they're in condition, man. They're setting it up. It's basically like getting the pieces of Exodia.
It's very difficult to get all 5 pieces of Exodia, but it is possible. We've already seen it in the series. The EXO right now trying to embody the spirit of Yami Yugi to see if they can get the pieces that they need. And honestly, I am very curious. If the EXO do win game 1, have they fixed the issue of overheating and throwing game 2?
I would say they are quite disciplined in this game. Again, the only problem is they gotta open up the map, right? You gotta see the map as a whole. You can't allow the minions to be able to push down your turrets. Now conceal play, Rasi looking for a target.
Looks like they will find the entire team of Monster Vicious. Raging Sandstorm connects, forces the flicker out from Nova. Kobar Uni with the electrifying beast doing a lot of damage in the backline, but Summon Force comes out and zones him away. They're gonna pick up a killing spree in the backline. Ruff gonna trade for Siska, and Skyzed finding the Joy, locking down Xeno with the Starlium Beam. It's a double kill for the Hari, and 3 members of Monster Vicious fall. They will now have to mount a 2v4 defense. There's only a single minion pushing in. That should be easy enough for Monster Vicious to clear out, and the game should not end just yet.
Monster Vicious, like this is the start of a very bad run, because this probably reminds them of previous season in play-ins. They can't lose this one. But now it looks like they're able to get Roundel to use his wings by wings. Nova Escobar trying to get a catch here. Not gonna get anyone.
Rasi will just say Raging Sandstorm out of there. They know that they can't end the game just yet without the Lord, but they're setting themselves up real well. They've taken 2 inhibitors. Lord is coming up in 10 seconds. Monster Vicious now going to need to find a good position to turn this around.
I gotta say, Stone played that really well, because he's very quick to realize that he's being targeted by both the Farsa as well as the Joy. So able to get out of that, and the rest of the team collapsing on the Joy, that's really good teamwork coming in from DxO. Something we haven't seen a lot this day.
Yeah, that was a lot of faith and proper reaction to what MV was trying to do, because you're right, Lafel. Uni tried to dive the backline and yet wasn't really able to find much out of it, and in fact even ended up dying to Skyzed. Now the Lord gonna be contested once again. Glorious Pathway comes out. Uni pops the electrifying beads. Keeman is in the backline. Wind of Nature keeps Ruff alive, but not long enough. Killing spree for Skyzed. He trades away for Uni. They find a shutdown, but the damage is done. The EXO gonna be 4-man strong. It is yet another 2v4 defense, but this time they do not have their marksman. Roundel is the only source of DPS. The crystal is wide open. Nova Cobra tries to jump in, but what can a Kalea do in this position? Basically nothing. It's a mega kill for Stove, and DxSoul take game number 1.
The first step to winning this best of 5 is winning game number 1, and now they've set it up. Monster Vicious, they gotta figure out what to really do against DxSoul. And I gotta say, I'm pretty sure Husky is fuming watching that Harry. The fact that he didn't die and he got a kill and got another kill. Oh, what a balanced hero, man. What a balanced hero.
This is actually a really impressive performance by DXS right here, because team fights, 5v5 death balls are supposed to be Monster Vicious's specialty. These are supposed to be the types of games where they come out on top. And yet DxSoul outmaneuvered them, outplayed them almost every single time.
Oh, almost threw me in the chair. But anyways, yeah. This is a big step up coming in from DxSoul. I mean, sure, you can say that Monster Vicious, oh, the Kalia play bad and everything like that, but this is different. DxSoul, they look more composed. They look more professional. Now they're looking like MPL team.
Yeah, and this is already a team that was showing such impressive performance in their first season. They are really showing everyone else up. and demonstrating to the world that MAL does have potential after all.
Dude, Kimin and Siska, like, both these guys are just fighting for the top rookie at this point, and if they win, if they can survive up until the second phase of the playoffs, that's gonna be intense. Like, this is gonna be almost like that Team Huck run. When, was it season 9 or season 10? Season 10, right? They came in from the qualifiers, becoming champions, but now we gotta look at the MVP backstage. It could go to anyone, even Stone. I feel like Stone played really well in that one.
Yeah, I think Stone did really good, but you know who else did really good? Kimin on that Hayabusa. Now, we can't lie, LaFell. I think a lot of us were wondering if Kimin was the weak link for DxSoul because his performance wasn't quite as consistent compared to the rest of the players. But if he's able to continue performing like this, then those concerns can be swept under the rug.
At that point, Kimin showed you how to become a jungler. Go in, win the retribution, let the enemy start the Lord, but you're the one that secures it. That Lord take really set the team up for success. And again, the damage that Kimin was able to do, like, I saw a lot of the shadows went inside of Roundel, and I kind of feel like that's the biggest problem that DxSoul really had, was that Pharsa. If the Pharsa is not there, it becomes easier for honestly the entire team to do whatever they want.
Yeah, there was actually a really good formula that DxSoul was using in a lot of these team fights. They know that their backline is only ever going to be threatened by 2 people. That would be Nova Escobar and Uni.
Yeah.
And Roundel if the Feathered Airstrike is up. So the goal is stop Nova first.
Yeah.
Catch him, stop him from like jumping in. That's one step solved. There's a lot of faith from the rest of the team that Storm as well as SkyZ can handle themselves against Uni, so the rest of the team don't bother trying to play defense. They go for the back flank instead. And because of that, Ruff is not able to consistently do damage.
Yeah, now we're going to look at the itemization here because I want to talk about our MVP just now, Kimin, where I'm not so sure about the order of the items, but I still remember around 8 minutes going to 9 minutes, that is when he had the Blade of Despair. And we did talk about maybe this is just another way to secure the Lord. Because again, the Shurikens does do a lot of damage, especially when you compare it to the Joy, where it's DPS-ish. With the Blade of Despair, the Shuriken feels like a big burst of damage. It makes it easier for you to focus on a big burst to secure the Lord with the Shurikens as well as the Retribution.
Honestly, if Kimin actually decided to go second item BOD specifically to outdamage Uni for the Lord steals, then it is already another level of gameplay. If they're thinking that far ahead, if they're considering such a minute details, then DxSoul is telling us that they are true competitors here. And I'm really seeing it. I'm seeing that energy, that drive.
Yeah. Notice as well that Storm did not use the Sky Piercer for this one, so he's really there just to be the support, right? Getting those crowd control, getting the slow, getting the stuns, getting the pulls, and of course the consistent damage. But his main idea for this one is not to be the finisher. That is Kimin. That is SkyZ. And both of them did a very good job. Monster Vicious though, I gotta say, they were put at a disadvantage. Because if we look back into the draft, a lot of focus was onto Uni. Where even we said, the only real good jungler that's up is the Joy. And he did pick up the Joy. So in a way, DxSoul really controlled the draft.
I think they completely manipulated the draft to force out this Joy from Uni. Because they already had the Phobius in advance, and they do have heroes that are able to handle it somewhat well. I think Storm and SkyZ did a great job of just avoiding the electrifying beats, because if either of them got picked off at any point by Uni, it would have been a very difficult fight to turn around again. But the trust in each other, the trust that the other teammates had in them, and the trust that their frontliners would be able to distract the rest so that they can handle the Joy on their own, really shows the synergy of this team.
And now we get a look at the damage numbers here. Looking at the numbers, Storm still did a lot of damage, 75,000 damage dealt, and Ruff tried really hard, 72,000 damage dealt. Kimin did pretty okay damage, 50,000, SkyZ 57,000, but look at Uni, man, only 23,000 damage dealt. He's only higher than the EXP laner as well as the roamer, which does show that he wasn't involved in a lot of team fights. He was 0-2 and 7, no kills. Most of it is just assists.
Yeah, I was actually a little worried initially when DxSoul locked in this Khalid roam because it's been very hit or miss, right? This is a hero that you usually need to really disrupt the enemy jungle early to really leave a lasting impact. And while Rossi did try that on the first buff, he didn't really continue doing so. And I was worried that that wouldn't be enough of an effect. But DxO trusted the process. They trusted the draft. This was designed with countering the Joy in mind, and it worked out.
Yep. Really can see that DxO came much prepared for this one. Highlight players here. Kimin is the rich guy, 775 gold per minute. Stone, the carry, 75,000 damage dealt. Zeno took a lot of damage, 138,000 damage. He's the sandbag. And Rossi, the best wingman, with 10 highest assists. I gotta say, DxO played the team fight very well. Monster Vicious, I feel like they should pay attention and start to see the traps in the draft.
Yeah, there are things that they gotta worry about, because I actually feel like Monster Vicious is one of those teams that has a bit of an Achilles heel in that their gameplay style tends to be one-dimensional team fight, and they're very good at it. But what if your opponent figures out a way to adapt? They change the draft according to what they want. They go for flanks that you're not expecting. Not everything will go to plan, even if you feel like you have a good draft. And that needs to be something that you're able to evolve through.
And again, we got to look at how DxO, the way that they're playing is, I almost want to say, systematic. They know how to go in and out of fights because they try to bait things out. And then they always try to figure out, is it worth it to use everything that we have just to get this kill? And more often than not, the answer is no, because they feel like it's not the right time. This is one of those ways that you play. It doesn't feel like you're scared. It's really about you calculating the risk mid-fight to figure out, what should I do here? And most of the time, I would say they make quite good decisions here.
Really good calls. You just look at the positioning in the highlights of how each member of DxO is handling things, how the fight is being split in half, the timing of entry from the different frontliners, and the belief that they will be able to get what is necessary in the right amount of time. The fact that Uni here is not able to melt down 2 backline cores and ends up being picked off by them is already a really bad sign for MV.
I mean, like, it's very difficult, man, because the Harif just gets a lot of shield, a little bit too much. Even here, look at the Harif. He should have died. Look at how low he is and how long he's been that low. He even got a kill onto Uni.
And part of that is the concealed flank from Rasi and Kimin, right? The moment this Khalid and Hayabusa pop out of thin air, Monster Vicious are in, like, desperation mode. Panic is, okay, we need to survive. We need to get out of here. There's no longer a thought process of finish off the Harif, right?
Again, more stats for that Hayabusa, because before the game started, we did show that the comfort hero for Kimin was the Hayabusa with 10 picks, now 11 picks. And the best hero for Uni is actually the Hayabusa as well, so could be contested for this one.
I think so. I don't think they can really afford to allow it through anymore after what we saw in game number 1. And I think after that game 1, you're right, LaFell. We need to refresh with 0 sugar, 0 calories, and the same great 100+ taste that you've always loved. Because no matter the occasion, sugar-free and calorie-free 100+ 0 is here to keep you replenished so you can get the most out of every moment.
I can't figure it out. How does this have 0 sugar, 0 calorie, and legit it tastes the same? Like, if you took off the label, I'll be fooled. I thought it's just a normal 100+.
I already had mine, and I have 0 100+ now too. So, you know, that's how good it is.
Wait.
I already finished my 100+ earlier. I forgot to get another bottle actually, so now I'm not refreshed. What's up?
No, just now there was a psst. I tried to replicate it, but I couldn't. But yeah, 100+. Thank you very much. The fact that we can drink this on broadcast, that's amazing. Cheers. Anyways, going back into this game, I feel like the win condition is pretty clear. DxO just needs to make sure that they don't fall into the trap of the draft. And wait, so for MV, don't get caught up with the draft. And for DxO, keep on doing what you're doing, man, because it looks pretty good.
Now, DxO, this is the position I was most curious about. And I think the position most of us are most curious about.
They can 2-0, relax.
Do they drop game 2, right? Do they? That's the thing. They said they were going to break the curse in the last week of MPL. And it didn't happen.
It's been 6 weeks, Staffa. I mean, week 7, play it. Surely there's a difference, right? I mean, the way that they play is different. If they lose this one, I will lose my mind.
I would as well. Because you really gotta fix that. If they're not able to fix that by now, it is a very glaring issue if you continue to overheat off of Ego. Hopefully that doesn't happen. In the meantime, let's check in with MV. We got a quote from Coach Sora, who said, "Against DXS, we're more confident since we've already beaten them. But we still need to be cautious because they have strong chemistry. They have 2 experienced players and 3 rookies whose spirits are burning with passion."
Yep, and they played really well in game number 1. So in game number 2, I feel like try to get Uni on a good hero. And for DXL, I kind of feel like they figured that out. Because as long as they take away that Lucas, and maybe take away the threat of Abaxia, maybe it can do well. Because I'm trying to remember, I feel like, or just ban out the Phobius. Because I feel like the Phobius as well has really disrupted the draft.
I do think so as well. Let's see if Kimin thinks so, right? Because we got a quote from him as well. He said, "Ziska and I have been trying to break into the MPL scene for 4 to 5 years. It's a blessing that we made it to the playoffs in our rookie season. It's a dream come true, and I hope we can put up a good fight."
Well, they have so far. It was a very good first game. 4 to 5 years, man. I've been casting for 4 to 5 years.
Oh yeah, I guess we have.
Yeah.
Really brings into...
I got to MPL first. Not in the same way, but...
Not quite.
Yeah, either ways, yeah. I feel like that's what we got to see. But now we got to talk about the gold laners as well. Both Ruff as well as SkyZ. Got to look at the gold laner rankings here, and looks like 3,083 average damage per minute for SkyZ, and yeah, he's the lowest, and by far, like, the second lowest is Kuse with 3,659. So Savage is yes, but not the highest contribution of damage.
Interestingly enough, though, they both have the same average GPM, down to the precise digit. Like, what are the chances of that?
And then you have Innocent with 834 average.
We don't talk about him.
Per minute, and 4,000.
He's a different level.
4,028 average damage per minute. As you say, Staffa, that's rough.
That is rough.
That really should be his tagline. Like, whenever he streams, just end it with, "That's rough."
And that's rough. Signing out. Yeah, that kind of thing. I make it rough for my opponents, and they make it rough for me.
Life has been rough. Hey, I have a pet. He goes by rough. You know what? Great guy. Love the dude.
Your pet?
Yeah, because a dog, rough.
Yeah,
but he's Muslim. He probably can't have a dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the draft a little bit, cause
once we see it,
let's see, right? Because DXS, they have seemed to have worked on some things. They look more disciplined in game number 1, and the emotional overheat in game number 2 is what always ends up getting them, and they sometimes get a little bit ahead of themselves in the draft as well, just picking up comfort picks because they believe that it's all they need to push them to the finish line.
I like the adjustment here coming in from Monster Vicious, betting out the Fredrin, betting out the Phobius, and even betting out a Kimi. These are all strong picks, but at the same time, this is focus on what DXL has been doing. And DXL as well, betting out a Fanny as well as Lucas, targeting Uni, and not even betting out the Chips. But that first pick, Baxia, already denies a lot of what DXL can do. But in terms of the opener, the Kalia is open. I don't even know if they want to go for that because the Baxia can deny the heal. I wonder.
I feel like Kalia just loses a lot of
maybe Harif first pick?
Effectiveness. Harif is okay, but technically also has some difficulty going into the Baxia. Maybe Zeusin is okay. It depends on the approach that DXS want going into game number 2.
Haya Harif.
Haya Harif.
Yeah, because
I can see Haya.
Okay, Jushin and Badang. Alright, that's interesting. I guess the Badang can can handle the Baxia a little bit, but he does have to be careful because the Badang is tanky because of that shield. So cutting that by half really slows down his early game. And the reason why I say Harif and Haya, because you kind of don't want to give that over to MV, because Ruff is pretty good on Harif, and Uni has won the most games with the Haya.
Yeah, these are both comfort picks that would be risky to let through. And DxO has elected to go for a safer opening since the Baxia doesn't have a lot of counterplay right now. But I have expressed multiple times throughout this season that I really don't like safe openings on the red side. Revealing Badang and Zusin early on, I feel like gives away a lot of your game plan, and neither of these heroes have a lot of damage prio early.
1-1. If you don't want that Harif in the first place, this is a good place to put up a 1-1, right? You can get free stacks on the Baxia. You can purify out of that Cho. And then you have a pretty good laning phase against the Granger. And if you don't pick it up now, for sure it's gonna get banned out.
I can see where you're coming from. The 1-1 would be a pretty solid lock-in here, but would they want to lock in a Assassin instead? Looks like they will still prioritize the Harif. Should still be pretty strong. I do hope that it goes for a Purify just to deal with that Way of the Dragon.
Now I just wonder, because the DxO is probably thinking where this Baxia is going, because even though you see the Cho, you have no idea whether it's going over to the EXP or the jungle. Because knowing Xeno, it feels like a Xeno hero, right? Putting the Baxia in the EXP, but at the same time, it's in the back of your mind. You know that Uni, even though he is an assassin player, as a professional, he must be willing to use this Baxia in the jungle.
I don't doubt that Uni would be able to play it in the jungle, but you're right, Lapel. It still feels more like a Xeno hero, and I think the DxO agree. That's why they're still going to be banning out Assassins. It's a very good place to do so because they are going to have first pick in the second phase. So if they ban out all Assassins but one, they could... Ooh.
Export ban. That might be a bluff, because if you're batting out the export, it's kind of telling you that the Baxia is going in the jungle, right?
I mean, yes, but X-Borg would still be really annoying even if you were playing like Baxia EXP. Especially if you intend to pick up another tanky frontliner after this. X-Borg will just make your life very, very difficult. I think it's wise to just eliminate it from the pool.
If you're going to pick up someone tankier after this, your lineup might not have a lot of damage here. It's only the Granger right now, so they might need something like the Farsa. I wonder if they do want to ban out the Farsa. Oh, they ban out the Zaz, so they still want... They want a Hayabusa for sure.
Yes.
Right? Banning out the Zaz, either the Hayabusa or the Ling, but at this point, probably the Hayabusa.
Yeah, this is a setup for Hayabusa, and maybe to bait MV into banning one or the other. If they are going to ban an Assassin, it probably makes a bit more sense to ban out the Haya. I think that's a little bit more difficult to deal with overall. And yeah, they agree. They'll get rid of it.
So, Lancelot, Ling. You want to be cheeky, I guess. What else? What other... I feel like you don't need a Joy here.
I think Joy will have difficulty here.
I feel like Ling could also potentially have difficulty because the Cho can kick you. Although to be fair, any assassins will get kicked anyways. I almost prefer the Lancelot, but I don't know if he practices on that.
It's hard to say. I feel like Ling is still gonna be one of the safer choices as an assassin that's actually in the meta. And I do feel like the XS should lock in their jungler here. Looks like they don't. They're gonna keep it until the end and lock in Glue instead.
Fairness is still open if they want to pick that up, right? Like maybe they couldn't pick a, like, just what if? They just couldn't decide. And then they just choose to lock in the Glue first, which shows where the Badang is going, by the way. And now they can actually get a Faramis plus a Ling. Honestly, like a Ling, I feel like will do fine against the lineup of DxO.
I think we're forgetting Suyo.
No, I feel like Suyo is not good against the Harif as well as the Jushin after the magic resist nerf.
I mean, for DXS.
Oh, for DXS.
Maybe that's why they're willing to pick Assassin
I
last.
still want the Joy.
Oh.
The Joy and the Farsa. So the Glue is not going to get punished. Although to be fair, I've played a glue against a Faramis, and I believe it's easier now to play against it. And they do go Ling, which is good because the Farsa is going to have a tough time against the Ling, against the glue, against the Harif. Looks like Monster Vicious, they're very confident that this Farsa will not be experiencing any trouble at all.
I think when you really look at it, both of these drafts are very balanced. They have good early game, they have good late game, but I do think there's a slight higher condition on DXS because they need items on the Harif and Ling, and the rest of the heroes really don't exert a lot of early damage.
To the point where I wonder if it's going to be a better idea for Stone to actually be picking up that Sky Piercer just to make sure that you don't completely lose out in the early game, right? Because I kind of feel like the glue as well as the Padang, they do okay-ish damage, but they're not finishers.
Definitely not. But they need those finishes. They need heroes that can really lock in and secure these team fights for them. Because DX Soul is now eager to finally break their 2-1 curse from the regular season. Will they be able to do so? Or will Monster Vicious even it up and bring us to a tie series in the Land of Dawn?
So right now, looking at the movement here, they're starting at the opposite sides of the map. A lot of cheering. I'm actually quite impressed.
I know DX Soul has like really, what's the word?
Vocal?
Really active fans.
Yeah, very active fans.
Yeah. Like their families always come to support them, which is actually really nice to see.
Very nice. Now looking at the setup here, looks like everything is as expected. The Jushin even picking up that Rupture. So yeah, I think DX Soul, they completely understand that they need a little bit of damage, and they're looking at Storm. Storm to be the one with the damage, and you were hoping for that Purify. Yes, SkyZ as well as Storm is on that Purify. Siska is on that Flicker. So far, Siska, hold on, Rossi taking quite a lot of damage. Should be okay.
They actually kill him here. Okay.
No.
He has the regen. He's gonna regen it back up. Uni already showing himself on the bottom side of the map. Also gonna be able to secure this gold crab.
Yep. As I was saying, like Siska before this, I believe he was week 4 and week 5. He tried out the glue, didn't have an amazing game. I want to see if he has improved on that glue mechanics to really make a difference. Because we can see, for example, Cram having much different glue compared to every other EXP laner here in Malaysia.
Oh, Novak's Kopar, he's gonna be able to dash away. Uni looking for Storm, commits the electrifying beats, picks up first blood. Kimin coming in with the Tempest of Blades, but an instant disengage from MV to make sure they don't lose anyone in exchange.
Very different here. This time Uni deciding to go a little bit more aggressive. And to be fair, not a lot of things to stop him because I feel like he saw Rossi already using the Frizz Break, giving him like a easier time to get onto Jushin. I would say Jushin, before she gets level 4, much easier to deal with than a Kimi.
And that's why MV aimed for that timing, especially right after the Fizz Break was gone, like you pointed out, Lafell. Siska trying to slow down the turtle, takes Stomis here as well. Kimin steals the turtle away. Grab on top of Uni. He will go ahead and jump off because Ruff is here to join the fight. Fizz Crack gonna be used to disengage Rasi. Flickers over the wall. Really well done by DX.
I don't know what happened to Kimin, man. He stepped up, right? I mean, like, maybe it's the comments that got to him. People are like, oh, DX Soul is great, except for that one guy, the guy in the jungle. And then Kimin took that personally and be like, let me show up in play-ins, man.
Because like you mentioned week 4, Siska not having really good performances on the glue. Around the same time, Kimin tried playing the Ling and actually did even worse.
Less damage than the EXP and
yeah. So this is already a big improvement.
Yep. For sure. So right now, Monster Vicious still have a bit of an advantage here, especially by how they're playing. Because Nova, Escobar, and Uni, they're playing much more confidently, and SkyZ has to get away here. It looks like he is going to be safe.
Yeah, he will be able to dash out. Didn't even need to use the Zaman Force, actually, to escape the feathered airstrike. So that's a chance for Kimin to come in, steals away a camp with Retri, and just jumps out.
Yep. Looking at DxO, looks like they're trying to figure out how to catch someone mid here, because this guy's ready to catch someone. He just doesn't know who.
Stone gets stunned, the Electrifying Beats comes out. I don't think either team wants to fight here just yet. The turtle's gonna be up in 40 seconds, so not much a reason to brawl here.
I guess they were just hoping for someone to make a mistake, someone to overextend. Either ways right now, I believe between both teams. Oh, hold on.
Stone is manning up, walking forward, ult back. Wow.
That's good, because now that the Crimson Beacon is out, I gotta say, DxO should not contest for that turtle, especially because of their draft. They got a Ling, they got a Harif. What's wrong with farming, right? Like, maybe try to see if you can get lucky with the steal, but if I was them, I wouldn't I wouldn't take the risk.
Yeah, they don't have the full commit to it. They have Keyman who can just kind of jump in and see if he can steal it, but otherwise they can try to play the map instead. So based on the rotation, they are calling SkyZ over, so looks like they want to fight for it.
Yep. And even if they do, oh, hold on.
Electrifying beats used quite early. Fizz crack, lockdown Uni. Here comes Keyman. Tempest of Blades comes out. Uni dashes through the turtle pit. He's gonna be safe. Xeno taking a good amount of damage. Grab, gonna pull him backwards as well. Novak Skobar gets locked into the wall. Xeno pops the revitalize. He'll be fine. Now the flicker comes in. Waves the dragon on Siska. Not in the right direction. Uni secures the turtle. No deaths just yet on the map, but Siska dropping really low. He tries to re-engage Storm as well with the Crimson Beacon. Setting up for Keyman, but feathered airstrike and electrifying beats comes out a second time. Storm goes down. Double kill for Uni as he picks up Rasti as well.
This is very bad discipline coming in from DxO because, again, their draft is not about fighting, especially around the turtle. Around Lord, maybe. This is just not the right timing. I feel like DxO, maybe they got a little bit too hyped up after the win in game number 1 and thinking that Monster Vicious ain't even that good. They can take this risk, and I hope that they learn, because keep doing that and Monster Vicious definitely will win game number 2.
Because that's exactly what's been happening the whole time. Keyman gonna be forced to use Tempest of Blades to avoid the two-man gank up top. Xeno is able to eat so much damage right now. The DxO needs to make sure not to overheat again.
Yep. At least I can say that Keyman did not make a mistake. He did not commit for that turtle fight because he's like, if you guys die, you guys die, right? I gotta take care of my KDA. And being a jungler, especially as a Ling, you have to be a little bit selfish. You have to be comfortable letting your teams die as long as you get the farm.
Novak Skobar trying to be annoying. Keyman will still be able to get that purple away. Uni gonna be scouted up top as well. And another gank on SkyZ. Rasi is here to try and stop it, but Feathered Airstrike forces the dash away. SkyZ not having a good time in this lane.
At least it doesn't die, right? Because Rasi is just making sure that he's able to scale up, because losing 2,600 gold honestly is not that big of a deal. And now Retri using for Retri, looks like no one is really going to get anything here. But again, if Monster Vicious doesn't end the game soon enough, definitely DxO will have the advantage.
Yeah, there's a good amount of scaling in the Ling and the Harif, and Keyman will be able to exert pressure through split pushing, which is something Monster Vicious doesn't have quite as much access to. So there's a bit of a timer on them.
3,000 gold lead here for Monster Vicious. Xeno unable to catch Keyman. So far, Keyman has been playing quite well. Oh, it looks like someone got caught. Roundel got caught.
Crack forces a flicker from Roundel, but Keyman not gonna let him escape. But Keyman gonna be using the Tempest of Blades just to get out, making sure he doesn't get kicked. A good disengage after a pickoff. The DxO now in full control over the turtle. Uni looking for a chance to go in. Fist break connected to Electrifying Beats comes out. Zaman Force as well, but they're not able to find anything. Revitalize also used. Uni still gets the turtle away from the DxO, but they will lose Nova in exchange.
Yeah, Uni can't have him, man. It's like, okay, hold on, new guy. All right, I've been here way longer than you. I gotta win this Retri battles. Ruff is up top, but the conceal comes in. Rossi catches him.
He's in a tough spot now. He tries to flicker away, but Siska is behind the tower waiting for him as well. Now Uni looking for some revenge. He finds Storm all by himself. Rossi is here. He gets the stun. Saves him at the last second. And Uni doesn't find a second dash. He is stuck. It's a shutdown.
Yo, MPL crew, if you guys are hearing this, give Rossi the MVP, man. He's been doing work all game.
Wow! Literally at the last possible second. Storm literally seeing his life flash before his eyes right there.
Yep. Oh, that was good, man. And again, something about Jushin. She can die, but you need to invest much more than usual compared to every other mid laners. Either way, right now, the goal lead went from 3,000 to a measly 400. That's about a 2,000 over gold swing. That's good for DxO.
Yeah, that's after winning a turtle fight and getting a pick off on Uni. That was his first death of the game, and since he was 3-0, he actually did have a bounty that was given over to DxO, so this is really good for them.
Yep. So right now, for DxO, Rasi has been amazing. So I feel like Monster Vicious, they can't really clump up together because if you're, you know, 2 people get fist breaked, 3, 4, that might be the end. Because Skyze, he just needs okay, no one's really there. He just needs space. Give him that space, and he will rock your world in a way that you don't want to.
Well, he is the only other player besides Innocent to have a Savage this season, and he's got 2 of his own, so he's definitely more than capable of handling things given the space necessary. The Exol now controlling space around the Lord Pit, not really allowing entry. The Fist Break connects with Uni. Electrifying Beats comes out as well. Rasi is stopping him all by himself. Feather Death Strike though, doing a lot of damage, forcing the Exol back.
Yeah, and now Monster Vicious, they are going to reset the Lord as well. Gives time for Storm as well as Rasi to recover some HP. And now Monster Vicious, they're controlling this. I don't think Kimin should go for it, but if he does, it'll be cool if he gets it.
He's gonna attempt it, but Uni secures the Lord. Tempest Blades comes out. DX Soul, do they want to fight this? A 4-man stun from Siska with a Revitalize from Xeno. Keeps his team topped up, and Nova just cuts them off. Now the Glue left in the lurch, and the rest of DX Soul a little bit too far forward. The 2-man Chikundo knockup forces the flicker out from Stone. Feather Dare Strike as well. SkyZ in a 1v1 against Uni, but the Zaman Force allows him to get away.
Yeah, that was a big mistake coming in from Siska, but, you know, it would be cool if it worked out. But again, hindsight, we see that Ruff does have that flicker, able to run away. So Siska just has to keep that in the back of his mind. Like, if you want to catch anyone, honestly, it's probably Xeno. Xeno does not have any way to run away.
Oh my goodness, that is so much damage. Uni just blasted Storm in an instant.
And now Monster Vicious, they get the Goldie back. Now it's almost 4,000. And now the Lord marching down bot. Looks like Nova Escobar is gonna try to pull the Lord, and now the Lord even takes down the Holy Defense.
Another Conceal and Feathered Airstrike, dropping Rasi down to about 60% HP. He's able to hold long enough to deal with the Lord, but the bottom inhibitor will fall.
Came in, says Uni. Did he actually win it? No, he does not win that out, even though he did use the Retribution. We gotta look at the items here, because I do wonder how much items does both SkyZ as well as Kimin has.
Oh, he just finished Holy Crystal, SkyZ.
All right, so that's good. So he has 3 items. I'm looking far away from the screen. It looks like maybe he has 2 items? I only see the Berserker Fury. I don't know what other items that he has. He has a House Claw.
Yeah, Berserker's has claws, and then he has 2 Legion Swords.
All right.
Oh, Wave the Dragon, gonna find Rasi, kicks him right into the Feathered Airstrike and Death Sonata. So as Badang down for the count, Monster Vicious really applying pressure now.
Oh yeah. Kimin should still be okay. He's 1-0-2. SkyZ as well. It's actually 1-0-2. So the EXO just needs a good moment, right? Someone to set it up. Either Rasi, either Siska. So it's not completely bleak for them. But now Ruff having that BOD. Damn, that's gonna hurt.
And Monster Vicious is now officially in their comfort zone. This is the mid-game 5v5 team fight timing. They've already pushed the Exol back into their base, so they're basically gonna have to be playing Deathball base defense a lot of the time. Even Keeman's macro capabilities are gonna be severely limited by how much map control DX actually has.
All right, Kimi now has the BOD. Uni flanks from behind.
Electrifying Bee is doing a lot of damage, but Snowman SkyZ will get away. Feathered Airstrike also whittling down Siska. The Exol just have to play in their base.
So right now, Siska is going to have a hard time here because both Roundel as well as Uni, both of them have the Wishing Lantern. So now any front line, doesn't matter. Rasi, Siska, like at this point, the Exol, they have to consider that they don't have a front line.
They're still gonna try and conceal and commit to the Lord. Forces a flicker out from Roundel. Here comes Xeno to stop them. Feathered Airstrike doing a lot of damage to Siska. Rasi gonna get kicked away. Siska flickers forward, gets the stun. They jump on Ruff. They slay him. The kill going over to Kimin. Uni is still in the back line. He picks off Siska, but they also trade Xeno for it. Currently 1 for 2. Still in favor of the Exol. They know where Kimin is though. He doesn't have enough energy. Is the rest of his team able to back him up? No, because Uni is dealing with SkyZ in the back. Kimin somehow still able to dash away though.
He's still alive? How? Either ways, we did see that Siska is not going to be having a good time here. At this point, Siska can only play when he has that flicker. flicker in, second skill, and then try to jump onto someone. Because if not, you're gonna die, right? Uni as well as Roundel just deals way too much damage. The fact that Kimin survived, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I thought he was dead for sure. So it was a good maneuver to get him out between the members of MV. Still not good for DX though. Monster Vicious able to secure another Lord. The waves all pushing in their favor, and DX in a position where they basically have to play together.
Yep. So right now for Monster Vicious, even though Ruff did die, right? I kind of feel like they're still holding the map pretty strong, especially considering that Ruff didn't have a lot of kills, so it's not that big of a goal swing. And even in terms of Sky Piercer stacks, I feel like it really doesn't matter at this point because both Roundel as well as Uni is just dealing way too much damage, especially Roundel, because look at the items here. I think he's building up to a Divine Glaive. Divine Glaive with the Glowing Wand, with the Wishing Lantern, there's no front line for DxSoul at this point.
Yeah, you won't be able to survive that no matter how bulky you are. The Feather Airstrike comes out, Siska gonna eat quite a lot of damage. Uni also playing around the flank. Lord gonna be crashing in bottom. Wave the Dragon gonna find Kimin, forces the Tempest Blades out. He dashes away, but Xeno stops him. Fizzcrack gonna zone the rest out though. Nova actually ends up dying to the tower. Now the Lord gonna be targeted by DxSoul. They've given themselves a little bit of space to breathe since there is no wave pushing in mid.
Yeah, DxSoul so far has been doing quite a good job trying to protect their base. And now you even able to get that flicker away from Roundel. Good attempt by Storm. Even though he didn't get anything, but still, that flicker is going to be huge, at least for the next 2 minutes.
Next 2 minutes are going to be very important timing for both these teams. If Monster Vicious is able to close the game within the next engagement, they don't have to worry about late game scaling. Rossi flickers in, gets one fist crack on a very important target. That is Roundel out for the count. Xeno now going to be abandoned in the front line. He pops to revitalize. He eats so much damage. He's actually still alive. Uni comes back in with the electrifying beast. He gets stuck inside the wall. He gets healed up a little bit more. Grab. Siska now nothing to get out. 3-man Kundo knockup. Immortality going to be burnt thanks to the Sky Piercer. But DxSoul don't actually lose anyone.
That's a good fight, but nothing is really changing because the Lord is not going to be up anytime soon. If they can get mid, then that's good. At least you get something because I feel like it's a good thing that they got kills, but really doesn't translate to anything.
Ooh, that was scary. I thought Uni might actually commit to that. SkyZ would have died to like 2 hits, but looks like he doesn't want to risk it.
So now for DxSoul, I believe they already got enough items here because even looking at Kimin, the only item he is aiming for at this point is probably the Malefic Roar, and then it's going to be full build. So in terms of damage, both Kimin as well as SkyZ has everything at this point. So if they can't make a team fight work at this point, then Monster Vicious, they got the win here. Because DxSoul, they already have what they wanted. They already reached their win condition. Now it's all about execution. It's all about the mechanics.
One big team fight is all Monster Vicious needs to close out this game and bring us to a tied series. They're the ones in control of the Lord right now. DxSoul will notice it, but they might be a little bit late to the party. Siska gonna enter. Conceal comes in from Rossi, but Uni already got the Lord. They'll pick up Xeno, throw him back, but Feathered Airstrike prevents them from re-engaging, and Nova Exobar as well flickers away to avoid the grab pullback. Kimin looking to re-engage, but there's just no real way of entry. Xeno eats so much damage. Rossi tries to go back in. SkyZ actually picks off Roundel. Fizzcrack locks down Nova. It's a double kill for SkyZ. Uni comes in, but you're 1v5. That is a mistake. It's a shutdown. Triple kill for SkyZ. But the minions are in the base. Okay, Rossi will make it back.
Okay, maybe that was the idea? Roundel flying up in that angle?
Wait, they can defend this, right?
Kimin is there, Kimin is there, Kimin is there, Kimin is there, Kimin is there.
Oh, hold the Lord! Hold the Lord!
All right, they can do it.
Oh my goodness.
They can do it. Okay. I was gonna question what was Roundel doing. In hindsight, maybe they just wanted the minions to end the game, so they forced a fight or at least forced DxSoul to stay around there. The fact that DxSoul was able to finish the fight fast enough and then actually recall to defend base, that was either very lucky or very skilled by DxSoul. But still, at that moment of time, I was like, what was Roundel doing?
Yeah, I was wondering that as well, because he basically just walked into the Synchro Fission and got blasted. but maybe he was just trying to buy some time, because a little bit longer and the minions actually would have ended the game for Monster Vicious. Pretty bad news though, because DxSoul are really good at coming back from these sort of positions.
Yeah, we're looking at the numbers here in terms of the KDA, gold per minute, as well as damage per minute. It does look like, actually no, except for KDA, Uni is doing quite well. Kimin is doing good in KDA, but everything else, Uni has his number. Yeah. And speaking of which, at this point, they gotta respect that Harif, man. That damage is not balanced.
They need to try and melt him down as soon as possible. SkyZ cannot be allowed to freely DPS, or Monster Vicious will find themselves in a world of trouble. Up until now, Roundel has been popping Feathered Airstrike off cooldown to zone, but he might need to hold it for SkyZ.
And maybe just don't get into a weird position, right?
Yeah.
Kimin still hasn't died yet. SkyZ has died once. I don't know. Is it really worth it for Kimin to go over to Ruff? Because so far, Ruff is not that big of an impact in this game. Maybe Roundel is the one that he really has to focus on, and then you trust everyone else to deal with Uni.
Maybe. It already worked for them in game number 1, so I can definitely see that being a solid way forward. But without his purple buff, Kimin's gonna have a bit of a hard time.
The thing that DxSoul needs, they need some kind of advantage before the Lord spawns. Or they gotta win at this Lord spawn. Because here's the thing, Staffa. Monster Vicious at this point, if they don't want to make a mistake, they don't have to force anything, man. Let the minions do the work. Eventually, DxSoul, they'll tire out.
Yeah, DxSoul will have to split their resources. Oh, Siska gonna be eating a lot of punishment. Still has immortality though, so he's fine. Feathered Airstrike's actually gone. Is gonna be pulled backwards. Nova holding the flank, but Siska will scout it out. The minions still pushing in favor of Monster Vicious. I don't think DxSoul can stay long.
Yeah, Monster Vicious, again, they just stay here. The moment they see the Ling clearing the wave, guess what? They're gonna do something like this one.
Rasi gonna get kicked, electrifying beats, Fist Crack locks down Uni, so he's not actually able to do damage with his ultimate. Another Feathered Airstrike, and Rasi is able to dash away. This is actually not a bad timing now for DxSoul. They're able to regain more ground.
Oh, the minions, a bit nervous. Everyone has to back off, and now Monster Vicious, they get stoned. No, they didn't.
If he's able to Crimson Beacon away, Uni nearly dies. He does. He loses immortality. He pops the Winter Crown, gonna try to switch, but the Tempest Blaze finishes him off. It's a killing spree for Kimin. And all the while, Rasi is defending at home.
Yeah, Siska trying to delay. He's actually able to get Zeno. And now SkyZ, he's just waiting for his ult. He's just waiting for the Zama Force. Nova is trying to run away. It looks like DxSoul, they're juggling this well. How? How are they juggling it this well?
That's what I told you, Lefel. There's something about this team. They somehow hold these situations. The tenacity is on another level. Things are still definitely stacked against them, but MV is starting to make more mistakes.
I don't know, man. Like, DxSoul, they got the tenacity, they got the thrill, they're pretty swift with it. They even have a Master Assassin. And I'm pretty sure there's a Quantum Charge somewhere there.
Probably. Lord gonna be targeted once again. This time all 5 members of DxSoul are around. This could be it. Roundel looking for the flanks. Zeno gonna re-engage. Feathered Airstrike doing good damage. Lord dropping low. Tempest Blaze comes out. Ruff gonna be zoned away. SkyZ kicked as well. But he's inside the pit. He's totally safe. The Lord secured by Kimin. No deaths. But DxSoul got what they were looking for.
Oh. Kimin, he's been practicing on this lane for a while. Not the most aggressive compared to a lot of the junglers that we've seen, but he's being very disciplined. Like, the thing about DxSoul is that they're minimizing as many mistakes as they can. And now Monster Vicious, it's sad to say, but it looks like they're choking a little bit. It's like they're starting to lose ideas. DxSoul is just overwhelming Uni to the point where he can't make a decision for the team.
This is what I talked about with the win condition for MV. They tend to tire out once you get into the late game. Fist Crack comes out. Uni uses electrifying beats. He'll be fine. Lord still slowly pushing up bot lane.
Yep. Monster Vicious, they're in trouble. DxSoul, can they finally do it? Can they actually get 2 wins in a row? They've never done that for years at this point.
Pretty much. Monster Vicious need to find SkyZ. They need this Harif gone if they want to stand a chance in a direct team fight.
Rossi is a big problem for Monster Vicious at this point. The only reason Monster Vicious, like, kind of loses it out, they get baited, man. A lot of skills used before anyone goes for a team fight. And not even just this game, even the previous game.
Lord is crashing in. That bottom inhibitor will not stand for very long, and Kimin is pushing mid as well. Monster Vicious in defense mode. The Feathered Airstrike gets cancelled by Rasi, and a stun goes in. Ruff gonna be locked down. Tempest of Blade chases him down. No death just yet. Rasi still alive, hasn't lost the immortality. Revitalize already used by Xeno as well. He gets knocked up.
They're doing
back.
it.
Immortality is down. Burnt. Unstoppable SkyZ. He found Uni. The Exol have broken through. The curse has been broken! The Exol take game number 2!
I can't believe it, man. They finally done it. For years, even in the MAL, they can never get 2 wins in a row. The first time they did it is in play-ins. And now, MV, they're in trouble.
They are in big, big trouble. 1 loss away from recreating their Season 14 tragedy. And DX Soul, the ones holding the weapon to their throat. An MAL team who has struggled to cleanly claim even 2 games in a row.
Oh my
now God. Doing so on their biggest stage ever.
I said before, good game, bro. Good game, bro. That was an amazing game. And yeah, I agree with Milo. That looks like a different team. We gotta check, like, is this still DxO? Because if you guys watched the regular season, they were not this clean. You can say MV made a mistake, sure, whatever, but give credit where credit is due. DxO, they're playing very well.
That was a situation which would be very difficult for most teams to actually claw their way back from. Yeah. They had already surrendered so much of an early game lead and were relying on late game heroes that a little bit cleaner play from Monster Vicious should have closed out the game so long ago.
I'm proud because this is a new team. This is rookies, man. I mean, Rasi is still experienced, sure, but nice. Right now we got to look at the MVP. It looks like it's SkyZ coming in, the gold laner, and he's saying, it's not me, it's God. God gave me the strength. This guy, a very humble guy, doing work on this Harif.
Is he pointing at God or is he pointing at the sky? You know, because he's SkyZ.
God.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's how Muslims do it. Even, who's the MMA guy? You guys know what I'm talking about. The name escapes me, but if you point out, that means, you know.
Understandable.
Allah is one.
But yes, SkyZ played a great game. Only 1 death the entire time, even though there was a lot of pressure being applied by Monster Vicious towards the early and mid game. And by doing so, he was able to make sure that he was consistently a threat. He never fell off. He was always going to be the main DPS that Monster Vicious needed to remove at all costs.
They got their win condition, man. We set it up in the early game. SkyZ needed items. Kimin needed items. And both of them wrecked house. And there's no way that you can get anything against this Harif because, sure, you can reduce his heal. You can reduce his shield. But half of a lot is still a heck of a lot.
Especially if he also grabs an Oracle for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the shields are building up even more. Right, and Nova can't really jump on him because he has that Purify, which means that it is all up to Uni. I feel like Uni did a good job this game. He was a consistent threat. He was really the main player that DxO was having difficulty with, and that's why the game ended up lasting so long. But at a certain point, he realizes, I can't melt them anymore. Yeah. And then the game just spirals out of control.
Yeah, that was a good catch stuff. Yeah, the Oracle by SkyZ as well as Rasi, making it so that they're much more durable in the front. Looking at the emblems as well, I'm flabbergasted. Monster Vicious, if history repeats itself, if they lose in the very first game in the play-ins, something about this team, man, changes have to be made.
I mean, I personally predicted that DxO would be the ones to come out on top here, but I predicted a full series. You know, I was expecting things to be a lot closer, and don't get me wrong, that game was close. It was an impressive showing by both sides, but DX Seoul has really grown. They have improved, and it's not like we had a break between the regular season and the playoffs this time. It literally is a week. It's like week 7, and they look like this.
I like the improvement. I really like it. This is what I was looking for coming into the play-ins, right? MV, they gotta give a challenge over to DX Seoul. And they gotta really understand the win condition that they have with the draft. The Joy has not been working out for 2 games in a row. I still believe that the Joy is an amazing hero, but something about Monster Vicious, they keep getting baited out.
Thing is, the Joy was okay. I feel like Uni did his job, and his damage was really high up there, actually, alongside Roundel. And even though Ruff was doing a lot of damage himself, I feel like he wasn't able to do as much as he'd like. Every single time the fight started, this Granger had to disengage because there was Siska on top of him, there was Keemin on top of him. Rassi is consistently looking for a flank as well. I think Monster Vicious needed to mind their backline a little bit more because there was a bit too much focus towards melting DX Seoul instead.
Keemin is going to be the rich guy. SkyZ to carry 104,000 damage. Dealt Zeno took 232,000 damage, and Storm is the best wingman with 11 highest assists. Now the question is, I think that Harif has to go. It has been a problem game 1. It has been a problem game 2. And I believe even in other regions, the Harif is not a hero that you really let through. I understand the logic here. You have that Granger. You should be winning out the lane. Skyza has evolved, man. He is a gold laner that understands he doesn't have to be all that aggressive. He just needs to farm, get that items, and then pop off late game.
You would think that having a Granger, having a Baxia as well, would help you deal with the Harif somewhat, but DX Seoul knew the game plan. They have a Harif, they have a Ling. The goal is to survive to the late game until you can get that farm in place. They definitely did make some mistakes early. I feel like forcing fights when they weren't really at a peak of strength just yet, but their late game composure more than makes up for it.
This actually the advice that we had in the previous series works better here. Just do nothing. Do nothing, do nothing, do nothing, and then pop off. Right? That's exactly what they did, but they made it look better than the previous series.
It did get risky. It did get close. There were times when the minions were really becoming issues, pushing into the base, nearly ending the game on their own. I think we have to believe that Roundel threw his body to try and delay more time. That's the only explanation.
If he was trying to flank, trying to get a kill, bro, what are you doing? Okay, look at it. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to flank. I don't think he was trying to buy time.
Yeah, looking at it like this.
If you want to flank, don't show your face, man.
And then Uni came in after that, when everything was over and his team was disengaging. There was a bit of disrespect going on. Even if Uni was doing a lot of damage before that, all those small incremental losses added up, and then DX Seoul ends the game with a 10k net worth lead.
So now you gotta ban out the Fredrin. Actually, you might be okay letting go of that Fredrin, honestly. Because then Kimi's not the problem. Siska is the problem. And I think ganking the EXP lane might be easier. Because here's the thing. In terms of the bans, I feel like the Phobias has to go. And then at this point, Harif has to go. And then that last slot. Do you want to ban out the Fredrin or the Kimi? Both are a problem. You got to make a decision because this is potentially the final draft that Monster Vicious will have here in MPL MY.
I feel like in their position, you still actually have to ban the Fredrin because it enables DX Seoul to fight MV directly on their own battlefield, and that's something they want to avoid.
Well, we're gonna give as much time as we can to the players because right now we'll be throwing it over to Poji to talk with someone on the stage.
Terima kasih caster kesayangan Malaysia, dan sekarang bersama saya Poji, kita akan berbicara bercakap mengenai Beyond the Meta. Sedia kita tahu ada pasukan untuk pusingan kelayakan wildcard dan ada juga untuk pasukan negara serantau yang lain yang cuba untuk merebut slot ke MSC EWC. Dan sekarang ni perlu kita tahu berita-berita siapa yang dah layak, siapa yang dah pergi jauh ataupun siapa yang hampir-hampir pasti untuk pergi ke MSC. Dan sekarang ni kita bermula dengan berita daripada Mongolia. Jauh negaranya. Untuk negara yang pertama ni, rakan lama M6 kita kembali iaitu The Mongols berjaya menewaskan IHC dengan skor mata 4-1. Kalau untuk pengetahuan korang, IHC hari tu datang ke Malaysia untuk bootcamp. Tapi sayangnya bootcamp tu macam dah jadi jalan-jalan je. Tak apa, yang penting enjoy dengan Malaysia kan. Tapi tak lupa juga sebab ada Legion Esport dengan satu pemain kesukaan Riz Pew Pew itu pun berjaya layak ke puncak wildcard ni. Sedih kita tahulah, kita nak dengar lagi Riz cakap macam-macam dengan nama dia ni. Saya pun tak tahu kenapa dia tak guna nama yang panjang. Never mind. Tapi berita seterusnya daripada Turki. Untuk berita daripada Turki ni ada gabungan dua tim besar itu daripada Ulhefnar dan juga S2G di mana ada pemain yang bernama TNZ, Rosa dan juga Apex 47 yang bergabung dengan Sigibum dan juga Lunar. Mereka muncul sebagai juara untuk MTC Turki Champion season yang kelima dan seterusnya layak terus untuk pergi ke MSC walaupun prestasi kejohanan yang agak lain tu dia tak berapa nak konsisten. Perlu juga kita respect pada mereka sebab mereka dah buatkan yang terbaik. Sebab kalau ikut sejarah, diorang ni pernah tewaskan Onyx Indonesia dekat ESL Snapdragon Pro Series Master 2025 hari tu. Potensi yang agak besar tapi mereka perlu buktikan dekat pentas MSC nanti. Dan tak lupa juga sebab Luna dengan Sigibum ni pernah bersinar bersama-sama dengan SRG masa dekat pentas M6 hari tu. Jadi perlu kita faham, kalau kata pernah bermain dekat MSC, pernah bermain dekat M6, maksudnya mereka bawa pengalaman yang sangat-sangat besar. Dah habis berita pada Mongolia, habis juga berita pada Turki dan sekarang berita daripada negara jiran iaitu Filipina. Dan sedia yang anda tahu semua, kita ada Onyx Filipina yang dah pun book slot untuk ke MSC bila mana kita tahu mereka melalui jalan yang agak sukar bermula dengan Aurora dan juga Twisted Mind di mana 3-2 menangnya tipis. Kemudian menang mudah bertemu dengan tim Liquid PH dan sekarang tim Liquid PH perlu bertembung dengan Falcon PH. Kat sini kita perlu pilih salah satu saja. Petang ni akan ada pertembungan siapa yang akan menjadi pilihan seterusnya untuk pergi ke Grand Final untuk Filipina. Tapi saya difahamkan sekarang kita ada klip video istimewa daripada pemain Onyx Filipina. Jom kita tengok apa yang pemain ni nak cakap dekat kita semua.
Hello everyone, King Kong here, jungler of Onyx Philippines. I feel very happy because we're about to represent the Philippines again in another international tournament, and of course it's one of my new achievements, the EWC. I think the second slot will go to Team Falcons because their chemistry is very good and we are best friends. I think the first team to secure the MSC slot in MPL Malaysia is going to be Selangor Red Giants. It's because Innocent and Kram is so good, including Sekis. Very good mechanics. My words for Innocent are good luck and work hard so we can meet again in another international tournament. If not SRG, my words for the other teams are good luck and let's give the fans a very good match.
Berdasarkan daripada prediction dia menjangkakan Falcon yang akan mara untuk ke Grand Final bertemu dengan diorang. Tapi bagi saya, kita tak boleh nak jangka lagi sebab petang ni diorang boleh buktikan. Dan pada masa samanya juga dia ada bercakap tentang negara kita ni lah, MPL MY, yang mana satu akan pergi book slot dulu untuk MSC dan dia cakap Selangor Red Giant. Tak lupa juga sebab dia cakap kita ada player Skies dan juga Innocent. Dia siap cakap sebab diorang ni bagus dan juga sangat berpotensi untuk bertemu lagi sekali dekat MSC. Kita tak boleh nak cakap lagi sebab diorang permainannya esok. Dan sekarang ni saya difahamkan permainan akan bermula tak lama sahaja lagi. Jom kita tengok apa yang berlaku dekat dalam bilik ni. Wow, diorang dekat dalam ni lagi, tak ada dekat atas tu. Kita panggil jap, kita nak tanya sikit. Sinilah, sini. kita panggil Zia, salah satu sub player daripada DS yang belum lagi bermain. Dia macam DJY, bezanya tim dia menang. Sini. Zia, apa khabar?
Sehat, alhamdulillah.
Alright, Zia, kalau boleh nak kongsi sikitlah dengan peminat-peminat yang datang hari ni kan. Boleh tak cerita macam mana korang boleh buat satu kejutan sebab kita tak jangka langsung? Kongsi-kongsi sikit.
Kongsi maybe sebelum ni maybe ada masalah sikit dengan kom apa semua. Tapi sekarang kita orang dah confident. So tu membuatkan kita orang hari ni lagi better daripada before.
Baik. Any words untuk semua fan dan keluarga yang datang?
Pada fans yang datang hari ni, thank you sangat-sangat untuk tim DX dan MV. So jangan lupa support kita orang sampai akhir. So thank you.
Terima kasih kepada Zia dan terima kasih juga kepada anda semua yang jadi penyokong untuk DS dan juga Monster Vicious hari ini. Dan tanpa kita melengahkan masa, let's go to berehat.
Fight for ultimate glory starts now.
Kerap menggaru kulit kepala disebabkan kelumumur, masalahnya lebih mendalam. Gunalah Head and Shoulders menembusi 5 lapisan untuk membasmi kelumumur dan kegatalan. Bebas kelumumur sehingga 100%. Head and Shoulders diuji secara dermatologi. Minna! Utsumaki Naruto ga kaette kita zo!
You keep scratching the surface for dandruff? But the problem lies deeper. Use Head & Shoulders. It goes 5 layers deep to defeat dandruff and itch. Be up to 100% dandruff-free. Head & Shoulders, dermatologically tested.
見せてやるよ。車輪ガンの本当の力をな。力が湧いてくる。
We are at the point where it's 2-0 for DX Seoul. Never happened before, but maybe this is just a DX thing. They will play 3 games no matter what. So in the best of 5,
I mean, best of 5 is perfect for them.
Win 3, they're still moving on. They're like, we played 3 games, bruh. That means they're screwing the best of 7, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, maybe when we get there, we'll see a new evolution of the team, but that means they have to actually make it to the grand finals. For now, that's a thought for another day. Right now, we need to talk about the situation we find ourselves in. An MAL team who has made it to playoffs for the first time ever, their first season ever, is now 1 game away from eliminating Monster Vicious.
Envy cannot overheat because there are a lot of times where we see them making plays for that highlight reels when they really should play with a team, right? Because they even said before during the regular seasons, like, oh, a bit of star syndrome, right? Feeling themselves a little bit more, thinking that they can 1v5. I feel like they need to start respecting DX Seoul and actually fight them as a team.
Yeah, I remember how I pointed out during, like, after game 1 that DX Seoul feels like the players have a lot of trust in each other to perform their individual responsibilities. MV is starting to feel a little bit like each player wants to take things into their own hand and are just hoping the rest follow up on them, and there's a big difference in that.
Oh, right now we do have the rookie standings here. It looks like Sheehan is 37 points, ZK 44 points, Aero 404, 49 points. Kimin and Siska very tied here, 51 and 50 points. Siska still in the lead at this one.
Yeah, both rookies from DXS have really forged a path for themselves, paved a way forward. And remember, we had a quote from these players. They have been trying to achieve MPL for 4 to 5 years now. And now finally, on the first season, they make it. They are making things happen. This is an incredible story, really.
Yeah, now we have the keys to victory for MV. They gotta respect SkyZ's carry potential, man. Like, don't give him that Harif anymore. Don't get baited. MV keep wasting skills without any trade, and they gotta draft for Uni or Ruff, because at this point, you know that they're the carries. Like, let them pop off.
Yeah, these are very smart keys, and I think they were written by a very wise man. And I think they're things that we really have to think about, right? SkyZ has the carry potential. This is a player that is willing to do what is necessary to get himself on the board, even if it means giving up some of that early to mid-game pressure. MV was getting baited out a lot because they wanted to win team fights, but there were situations where they didn't really need to force it. So going into game number 3, backs against the wall, a similar situation to Team Vamos at the start of the day. Can they turn it around?
Yep, started the drafting phase here. Looks like MV will be first pick. Betting out. Okay, they're letting go of their...
Who said there are no shortcuts?
I wonder if they will first pick the Harif here, because they ban out the Baxia, they ban out the Kimi, they ban out the Fredrin. They picked the Jushin.
I don't like that.
Neither do I.
This is Harif obvious, right?
Yes. Harifovia sounds so good for DX at this point. Like, it has to be a bait. But how is MV baiting here? Like, what is the trade-off? Like, the Hylos can deal with the Fovia, sure. Do you want to try Granger Harif again? DX is taking their time. Okay, so here's the thing. Maybe...
Oh, not Harif Phobias. Kalea Phobias.
Let's see here. I feel like they need to take the Harif away.
They have to.
In the previous game, in game number 2, they picked the Granger when the Harif is still up, and then they didn't even ban the Harif, and then Harif was eventually picked a 5th spot. So, but if Envy is not picking up Harif here, I don't know, man. Seems a bit
It
trolly.
would mean picking Harif into Phobias. I feel like...
Would you rather let Skyzen get the Harif again?
Probably not, right? Yeah, okay. They lock it in, and they also steal away the Badang, which... Okay, I guess, but I still don't really like picking Ziggs Badang this early.
Yeah, I'm thinking of gold laners here.
My imaginary world. Your team.
Yeah, there you go, the 1-1.
Yeah, I had a feeling too. After they banned it out in game 2, there was a sinking suspicion in the back of my mind that SkyZ probably wants to play this hero at some point.
Yeah, trying to get that 3rd Savage up in arms. And now they ban out the Hanzo. The OG way to deal with E11 is actually the Feramis. Whenever the crossbow tank is activated, you open up the Feramis ult. And honestly, even the Ghost Burster still a lot of damage onto 1-1. But that ban right there, the Zask, that showed that they want to use an assassin. I don't know if they want that Joy again. Again, the Joy is good, but doesn't seem like it's enough.
Nah, not here. You would be picking Harif and Joy into Phobias, which I think is a little bit too much. And like you mentioned, it hasn't really worked out so far. It might be the Hayabusa, maybe, since it still hasn't been banned until now. I think Ling is worth a consideration now that we've seen Kimin is capable of playing it. Both junglers have this as a pocket pick.
The problem is just because of that Kalia. Like, it really is just that Kalia. Because even the Hayabusa, you have a channel time before you use your Ogi Shadow kill. That's enough time for Kalia to pick you off. Same with Ling. Like, you can be fast enough that you can avoid this Kalia, but easier said than done.
Easier said than done is correct. You always think, as an assassin player, my hands are fast enough, I can avoid a Kalea. There's no way they can react in time, and yet we have seen it time and time again here in MPL. These are the cream of the crop. They ban Hayabusa.
My worry is just because it's match point. Do you want to take that risk? That's it. Do you want to take that risk? Because at this point, even DxO, they can pick up that Ling, and then what? MV has the Joy, the Suyo. Both honestly doesn't even sound that good at this point.
I think you keep your jungler and pick a mid laner here just to give yourself an opening, right? Because you could go Ling, but if you suddenly get a bunch of tanks on the side of MV, it might be difficult as well. So leaving a flex option open for something like an X-Borg is still a possibility.
The only thing is that I do agree they could get a tank in the jungle. Right, so they do pick up the Eve just in case if they want to pick up a fighter. The problem here, Staffa, is if they pick up a tank or a fighter, they lost.
No damage.
And the 1-1 gets free stacks.
Yep.
I don't care. Barats, Alpha, heck, I don't know, Aulus. Everyone's just going to give stacks over to 1-1. Like, the draft that DxSoul has right now, they already created a box where MV, at this point, I kind of feel like, unless they surprise us, I kind of feel like they got outdrafted.
I'm looking at the remaining assassins. Ling probably is the best option, but risky. Lancelot is
risky
possible. Okay, they go Ling, and then they go Gatot. I guess that's okay, but it is actually a similar situation that EXS last game. They are relying on Ling and Harif to scale up.
It's like, hey, you guys got a good draft.
Can I take that?
Yeah, okay, you guys didn't give us the glue. We'll just change it with the Gata and it'll be okay.
Can I copy your homework? Sure,
but don't
just make sure to tape it up a little so it's not too obvious.
I can't believe it's got to the point where MP is like, that was good. We can use that. What are the choices here?
A good
Lancelot. Honestly, if they want to use a fighter, it's fine. It's not that bad.
Is actually not bad.
Yeah. A lot of heroes are not bad. Now, I kind of feel like they can't go wrong with the last pick here. Suyo? Yeah, I feel like Suyo is still fine.
Suyo's actually great here.
And
there's only one source of magic damage.
Exactly.
Really.
How did DX Soul got so good in drafting?
I don't know.
Week?
What have they been doing? What have they been eating?
Arrow has been talking to Pogbat, so who has Theo talked to? Yeb?
Man, imagine we find out after this that they were talking to Yeb. All right.
Maybe even Wolf. Wolf has been helping up Onyx Philippines and has been looking pretty good.
Well, this is a very, very solid lineup coming out of DX Soul. They have early game pressure, they have late game performance. SkyZ on one of his comfort picks, the hero that secured him 2 Savages this season. Monster Vicious backs against the wall, only one opportunity to deny the fate that plagued them in the previous playoffs. Can they stop the advent of DX Soul as we jump into the land of Dawn?
So one of the keys to victory is actually to draft for the jungle or the gold lane, right? For Uni or Ruff. They got amazing heroes here. Uni's good on that link, and Ruff is good on that on the Harry. They even have a lot of support here. The Badang, the Gatot, and even the Jushin. So they got themselves a pretty good draft. We were talking about the win conditions here. Same as what we said against DX. It's all about execution.
Yeah, I feel like they heard the keys to victory from earlier because they have specifically drafted for Ruff and Uni this time. And everyone else is just a supportive position to get them set up. They are giving up a little bit of early game, but if they're able to get enough items by the time mid-game comes around, they actually can teamfight.
Looking at the situation right now as well, looks like everywhere is pretty tame. In terms of the build, nothing really screams out at me so far. I'm just looking at Nova Escobar because he hasn't been performing so well in these previous 2 games. So I want him to be a difference maker for this time, because if he can't do it, I don't know, man. Feels bad.
I do hope so as well. Nova Escobar has always been a very respected roamer here in MPL MY, and I just don't feel like I'm seeing the same sort of plays that he used to be able to create. One good thing, though, is that there are Purifies on Ruff and Roundel, so Rasi's probably going to have a bit of difficulty finding targets this game.
Although, personally for me, you only have one, and that's the Ling.
Yeah.
Right? I kind of feel like the moment the Ling drops down, try your very best just to spam your ult and then just grab her, because I feel like Ruff, you can let everyone else deal with it, or just wait for the Purify to go down, because in this game, Rasi, this probably will be a good game for him to actually build. Oh, hold on, Nova's going
for the taunt, gets the fist break in, but the real world manipulation comes out, and Kimin just dashes out of the box. He secures the turtle away. Nova Escobar dropping real low, first blood going over to Kimin, and Siska's on top of Uni. He just barely dodging Siska! Flickers over the wall to catch him. He'll trade his own life in exchange, but he's more than worth it. He's already set up the double kill for Kimin.
Okay, hold on, Ruff's trying to fight, Storm dealing enough damage, and DxO, they're like, hey, guess what? We used that draft before, man. This, when the early game is bad, so let's start fighting.
I think that's smart. That's a really, really good idea, and Monster Vicious were a little disjointed, I feel. Nova Escobar jumped the gun a little bit. Do you forget that Kimin has iframes? He can get out quite easily.
And did you also forget that your draft requires time?
Yes.
Right? You don't want to engage in this fight. Like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't, right? Just let your jungler farm. That's it. Don't expose him to danger.
I feel like there's a little bit of desperation popping up for Monster Vicious. They know the pressure on them. They know a loss here will cost them a chance to move forward again, stuck in the same position they were last season, and that could be a problem. That could just be a fog clouding their mind.
SkyZ now has the first item here. Very fast. Looks like 3 people down bot, but I don't think they can make anything out of this.
Ruff gonna show himself. Novak Tobar as well. Yep, I don't think anything's gonna happen down here.
Now, looking at how they've been playing DxSoul, 1,600, I feel like it's not enough, right? You want to push that lead a little bit more to the point where I wonder if DxSoul, they can get into a position where they can invade the jungle. Heck, they're thinking about it. Maybe after the second turtle.
Yeah, good job by Uni to just hold on to it to make sure Kimin doesn't get a free snipe. As we already saw from game number 2, even if MV is a little bit behind, they don't actually need to worry that much because their late game scaling is more than enough. But they just gotta make sure that the snowball doesn't grow too big for DX.
Right now, look at Storm. They see Roundel. They're only doing a lot of damage. And now even forcing out the Crimson Beacon.
Novak Skobar not really able to zone out Kimin. Eats 40% of his own HP bar. The DxSoul have a full grasp on the turtle down here, and wow, even the crossbow of tank comes out. SkyZ winning out the 1v1 and forcing Ruff backwards. The DxSoul in full control.
And here's the thing, DxSoul, they're winning the gold lane just by the 1v1. The mid overwhelmingly is won by DxSoul. So now Monster Vicious, they got to turtle up somehow against DxSoul, making sure that they don't lose any turrets. I kind of feel like if you can hold on to your tier 2s, you're in good position.
They just can't afford to give up too much map positioning. They need space for Ruff and Uni to farm, and if they can keep it up at this rate, it's actually not too bad. Uni and Kimin both gonna complete their first item at around the same time.
Yep. Oh, looks like Roundel was actually able to pick up the crap there. 2,000 gold ahead right now, DxSoul. I'm looking at the map, and I feel like if they want to gank, probably mid is a good idea, but looking at how forward Zeno is on this Badang, could potentially look for that one as well, because DxSoul, I just don't want it to be too passive, because they have a power spike here. You have the damage coming in from Stone, damage coming in from Kimin. I just don't want them to waste this opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with you. Once you get into the mid-game phase, the DxSoul has a lot of damage, actually. And if they're not able to execute on it, MV will actually get enough space to scale up. RWM forces out the Zaman Force, but Monster Vicious is doing a good job of just avoiding the fight.
Yeah, I feel like both ult timings is fine here because the turtle is going to come up in roughly 30 seconds anyways. By that time, you will have your ult. So it's a good shout, just a bit zoning, and then that's fine. Looking at the junglers here, it looks like Kimin is actually farming out quite well. Level 11 compared to Uni, level 9. And Uni, he wants to at least be on par. Because Kimin right now, he's even taking the minions up top. Now he has the Hunter Strike as well. Uni needs to do a lot to catch up in farming.
Well, as long as MV continues to slow it down, I think it's actually still fine. We have to remember, Kimin is 2-0. Uni did get picked off earlier, so it's somewhat expected that he would be behind in farm. I predict MV should try to avoid contesting turtles and just go for macro play, but Novak Skobar tries to jump in, gets the taunt, Tsunami Slam pulls him backward, two-man fist crack in the back line, Zeno doing a great catch, Uni comes in with the Tempest Blades, Storm secures the turtle, and now Ruff going ham in the Zaman Force, but Kimin picks him off, it's a killing spree, going to the Suyo, and now Zeno gonna be left behind as well, double kill! The DxSoul hit back hard!
Staffa, Monster Vicious, they got DxSoul's draft, but they clearly don't play like DxSoul. Why are they forcing fights around this turtle? What makes you think you have enough damage when you don't even have items, when you're already losing in levels? The decision making here is very poor. Whoever called for that fight does not understand the state of the game that they're in. Just because they're rookies doesn't mean they can't play. You can't disrespect them like that.
It's really difficult to understand why they made that choice. I literally said, don't fight, go for a split push. I feel like Uni could have gotten a free tower up top. SkyZ's gonna get a free crossbow, doesn't even need it. Novak Skobar picked off again.
Monster Vicious, they gotta slow down. Like, just looking on the screen, feeling a little bit of tilt here, Staffa. Maybe the pressure, right, of possibly losing in the first day, 2 seasons in a row is eating at them. They gotta slow it down. They gotta turtle up. Farm. It's lame. I understand. It's not as cool as picking fights, but you gotta do that.
I 100% agree. That's what I was most worried about for MV as well in this position. And it feels like that's exactly what's happening. And this is a team that likes to fight. This is a team that usually wins games off of team fighting. They want to fight. The two-man taunt is pretty good. SkyZ gonna need to dash away. AOG gonna miss, but here comes Uni. Gets grabbed with the Tsunami Slam. Killing spree to SkyZ. And in an instant, the flow of the fight reverses completely. Unstoppable for Kimin. RWM with the knockout into the Dino Strike. They are running them down. They are shredding them. They do not exist. DXO have annihilated Monster Vicious.
And that's a big wipeout when the Lord is so close to you. You get top turret. Now you get Lord. It looks like you might even get the tier 2 up top. This is... I'm sorry, Staffa, but that looks like game.
I think we are witnessing the death throes. If we were concerned about Monster Vicious, those concerns are no longer founded because they are not going to be here for much longer. The EXO continuing the pressure, pulling Novak Skovar back, sets up the crossbow of tank. Xeno comes in with the fist break, but it's way too late. Unstoppable for SkyZ. Monster Vicious are falling apart.
Stop it. You're already down. What's wrong with farming, man? Look at the items here. Uni only has 2. Ruff doesn't have a Holy Crystal. Why do you fight without a Holy Crystal?
Rasi goes in, gets taunted into the tower. He will end up falling, but they're able to get the mid tier 2. I think that is worth trading a life away.
Dude, oh. I don't know how Monster Vicious can come back from this one. Because DXO, almost 10,000 ahead. Skies hasn't died. Storm, 0-1 and 12. This is looking very scary for Monster Vicious.
The EXO are looking so good right now. The RWM sets up for the Lord, but MV is able to clear it in exchange for the Holy Defense. Looks like MV will finally get a chance to breathe a little bit, but at this point, the gravity of the situation must be hitting. They know that the chances of them moving on to the next stage are dwindling.
Yep. I can't believe it, man. Like, this is good. Monster Vicious. Seriously, wait for Ruff to get Holy Crystal. And then that's your win condition.
Here comes another conceal. Rasi not going to be able to find a target this time. Lantern going to pick him back up. AOG gets a knock-up into the fist break. He's able to dash away though, and now Nova going to be dragged in with the crossbow of Tang. SkyZ going crazy! Monster kill, double kill for the 1-1! And it just keeps getting worse.
Dude, like, 11,000 gold. I've not seen DXO have this big of a lead, Staffa, and it's against Monster Vicious. How have they been training for this week? What have they been eating?
This is a rookie squad revitalized. This is a lineup with a dream, with a passion, with a drive, with a goal that is sitting right before their eyes, and no one is going to stop them from reaching it.
Hold out, like, there's still hope. Get the Holy Crystal. You need to win a fight so that you can get out of your base so that Uni can farm. Uni already made a mistake dying early. As a Ling, you just need to farm, man. Like, look at how Kimin played in the previous game. So Monster Vicious, it's unfortunate. They're losing on fundamentals. Like, it's mechanics, right? With the hero, you should know their win condition. You should know their timing, when they're strong, when they're weak. Do you need items? Do you need levels? Do you need a setup? You should know these things, and they're playing against it, man. Like, it's not DXO winning at this point, it's Monster Vicious losing.
I'm pretty sure their psychological state is already in tatters. The pressure of this series, of this situation has been too much for them, and DXO winning out that early game may have been the last nail in the coffin. The only thing MV can hope for now is that DXO somehow overheats again, somehow throws kills into their cores, because that is the only way they can bring this back.
Well, at least Uni gets 2 turrets, so that's something now. Kimin fights against Uni. Uni should be able to win this one. He already has the items.
Tempest Blaze not really doing enough. It just has to use it to run away. Kimin's done his job. Now the Lord gonna be pushing in. MV needs to hold this. This is literally their MPL lives on the line right now. Mid inhibitor will fall, top inhibitor quick to follow. The damage from Keemin is notable, forces the revitalize out before the fight even starts. Rassi's just looking for a target, but he dashes backwards. RWM comes out, Zeno looks for the engage, gets a nice fist crack, but where's the follow-up? There's no damage. Ruff literally doesn't do anything. It's a legendary streak for Keemin. AOG comes in, Winter Crown allows this guy to survive. It's a double kill for the Suyo. The X-Soul are doing it. They're finding the way forward. This MAL team has beaten the odds, defeated the curse, and proved everyone wrong. They will move on to the upper bracket semifinals.
The first ever sweep for DX Seoul happens here in the play-ins. They wanted this for weeks. They wanted this for years. And they got it here on the big stage. And now, DX Seoul, top 4.
Top 4 in their first ever MPL Malaysia season. You are witnessing history in the making, ladies and gentlemen. We knew this team had potential. The love and support from their fans and family have brought them this far. Now it's up to them to decide how far they can go.
Not gonna lie, knowing their story, can't help but feel proud, man. They have developed into true MPL players, but tomorrow is gonna be a bigger test, man. They gotta go up against Homeboys. I hope it's a good match.
And what an incredible series. Let's just let Rose handle the rest up on stage.
Perjalanan Monster Vicious di MPL Malaysia musim ke-15 akan terhenti di sini. However, Stadium Juara, please give Monster Vicious a round of applause. And of course, sebelum kita tamatkan sesi ini, I akan bagi peluang kepada Monster Vicious untuk kata-kata terakhir di atas pentas.
Untuk fans-fans MV, kita orang just nak minta maaf lah. Tak mampu, orang kata bagi performance yang cukup bagus lah. Still sama macam selepas, hari first, kita orang terkeluar. And yeah, sorry lah.
We hope to see you guys come back stronger in the next season. And with that, Rose nak bagi peluang kepada Monster Vicious untuk membagi final bow mereka di atas pentas. In 3, 2, 1. Stadium Juara once again. This is Monster Vicious. Thank you very much. I really hope to see you guys come back stronger next season. And untuk pertama kali di musim ini, pasukan finally yang dapat clean sweep the rookie team of the season. Give it up for DX Seoul. Guys, big congratulations. Let's start with that, okay? Really, really big congratulations. I think I want to talk to Storm first. Storm, how did you guys manage to get a 3-0 today? What happened? What happened?
I think because it's best of 5 already, not best of 3, no more curse.
But in the video, Keemin said maybe 3-1, maybe 3-2, we don't know. How did you guys wake up on the right side of the bed today? Did you guys eat good breakfast? What's going on?
I think we really want to win against MV because for me personally, I really wanted to win against MV. And yeah, we really want to meet Homeboys also. That's why we gave our all this match.
Ooh, giving your all this match, that's a bit dangerous because you mentioned that you want to meet Homeboys. And as of today, as of right now, Homeboys is sitting very, very comfortably at the upper bracket. And tomorrow afternoon, you guys will be meeting Homeboys. Based on your performance today and, you know, having a week to train after the regular season, how well do you guys think you will do tomorrow? In your opinion, huh?
I think we just play normal as long as we don't overconfident from the three. We treat Homeboys with respect and we'll do our best.
Itu dia, jangan overconfident. Jangan overconfident. Humble. Now, mungkin Rose nak cakap dengan Siska. Wow! Now, Siska, Woi, nanti jatuh. Esok tak boleh main tau, Rasi. Betul? Betul. Okay, now Siska. Kita ada macam top 5 rookie of the season lah kan? And Siska dan juga Kimin is topping that leaderboard. And Siska has been doing very, very well. Ramai orang puji permainan Siska. Adakah ini satu benda yang pressure untuk awak ataupun you guna ni untuk motivate yourself further?
Motivate untuk diri saya sendiri je.
You tak rasa takut ke bila macam top rookie, ramai orang pandang awak, ramai orang pay attention to your playstyles?
Takut lah. Saya pun rasa macam tahu lah. Tapi takut lah.
Dia tak tahu tapi dia takut. Tak apa, kita faham. Hari ni memang happy ya? Hari ni memang happy. Esok boleh lagi ke maintain momentum ini?
Rasanya boleh. Kita orang pun dah ada momentum kan. Kita revenge balik kat Boys tu.
Wow, nak dapat revenge. Nak membalas dendam atas kekalahan di EXO di regular season. Alright guys, kita dah nampak perlawanan yang sangat-sangat, I can say, wow. 3 berbalas kosong, the first clean sweep daripada side di EXO. Tapi I nak tanya audience, siapakah MVP anda? You know what? Mari kita tengok MVP perlawanan ini. In 3, 2, 1. MVP jatuh kepada siapa ni? Jing 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 jing. Kimi